Hey guys, and welcome to Death Before Dishonour Season 4 Qualifier 4. This is the final qualifier of the season, of course, so the winner of this Death Before Dishonour will go on to face the likes of Anticity, Noob for Life, and Talaxlan Soothsayer, who have already proven themselves champions so far. So up in our first semi-finals here, we do have Lags 5,000, or looks like 50,000 there, who is making his debut on the channel here. He says he feels he's a bit lucky to get this far, but we'll see if that luck gets put to the test up against Tank. I'm sure a lot of you guys know Tank. He's a bit of a beast of a player all round, and certainly going to be coming into this one quite strong. So let's set up the scoreboards quickly while I think about it. Let's go for Lags. I'll skip all the numbers for now. Up against Tank. And of course, it's going to be the standard 2 best-of-3 semi-finals and a best-of-5 finals. Should be some good fun. We are going to be playing on the Plain of Spiders here, followed by Languil and Glacial Lake. Awesome. Same pick and ban system. Let them know. Let these guys sort themselves out. I hope you're doing all good today. I bet Pacta is wondering when does the tourney start. Unfortunately, man, Pacta got knocked out in the quarterfinals this time. He didn't quite get it. He was so close. But our second semi-final is Ice Power and Erwin Smith. I believe someone was telling me last tournament Erwin Smith did very good. I think he actually knocked out possibly Tank here himself and another really good player. I think it was Hadries. And someone was telling me Erwin Smith's been tearing up the kind of amateur scene quite nicely, so it should be good to see him in action here today. Yes. Plain of Spiders. Yep. Best of 3 and finals is best of 5. Maps will be, just let these boys know. Let them know all the maps and all that good stuff. Tank has literally just hopped out of a close battle up against Consul of Rome, which I believe did go all the way to a 2-1 series. So he's a little bit out of the information now, but it's all good. No Black Ark landed. Unfortunately, Raptor, we're going to be leaving that one. That's for the Grand Finals. We're going to start bringing out maps like that. The Grand Finals is going to be insane this year. We have some incredibly good players there already, and some more to join them as well. So we believe we have an ODM representative and an Extreme Meme Team representative. So we need to get one more as well. Tank looking to represent VM here pretty damn hard. Looks like Lags is going to be going Greenskins up against Tank's High Elves. A really fun matchup, so the new DLC stuff certainly going to be on display and shown off here. Should be some good fun. Let me just double check Discord, make sure we're all good. Cool, perfect. Looks like the magical Stormrunner is indeed going to be dropping some advertisement for us in the Discords. Massive shout out to Raptor and Stormrunner, who has started helping me out as well, managing the tournaments. It's really useful. Luckily, admin was quite smooth today, and often it is. There's not normally too many issues, but it really does help while I'm setting up stream. I can get other people to promo and all that kind of good stuff. It has started indeed, Pacta. Man, you were so close, dude. What happened? Looked like it was a 2-1 series. I believe Pacta did actually get to one of our semi-finals before, unfortunately going down and not quite making it to the finals. This boy's going to be sorting out their matchups there. Plain of Spiders is a map I'm starting to experiment with a little bit and moving it into the tournament scene. I reckon it's pretty good and nice and balanced. It has some nice trees on the right-hand flank as well for sneaky stabbings, but it's quite open and a bit of a caster's dream overall. Bob needs a nerf, fight me. Which Bob? Are we talking about the Black Orc Big Boss? I would assume he's pretty powerful, but he's equally expensive in cost as well. General Kenobi. What's up, Papa Palpatine, man? Hope you're doing all good. You guys may... my girlfriend demands too much of me. You need to get a girlfriend, man, who demands you play Warhammer. That's the dream. Looks like Lags is ready to rumble. And we'll get this underway. Should be some good fun indeed. So, this is going to be a tough one. Honestly, I don't know what I would do in this situation. Silver and Guard are going to be pretty tough. A lot of the new greenskin toys are quite large. You know, you get those new trolls, snotling pump wagons and so forth. So you've got to be a bit careful of falling into the trap of seeing all those shiny new units and instantly trying to hop in and use them. You need to make sure that you have the right matchup to use those good fins. Girlfriend and job got pulled apart by them. That's fine, Pactor-Man. You're still an incredibly good player and got all the way to the quarterfinals despite being maybe a little bit rusty. But yes, it's going to be a fun stream. Let's have some fun. Awesome. Look how fun that's. Looks like the boys are ready to rumble. Tank an absolute champ as well, hopping straight from one game into the next, as well as Lags for he had to wait quite a little while. We had a couple of slower brackets in the tournament, which of course happens as kind of normal anyway. But very excited as well to see Ice Power and Erwin Smith in the next round. I believe Ice Power has debuted on the channel before, but I don't think Erwin Smith has. So we're having some new players here and some old ones. Bob is expensive, that's true, but he is a hero when he should be a lord. Yes, but he comes with the lord, I suppose. Like the lord kind of cost to him. But he is very good. I do like Bob. Tends to be match up really. He's good in like troll rushes to help keep them just active and fine as long as possible, but can also be used decently with Cav. I'm gonna move a few things onto the floor from my desk so I've got a bit more room. And here we go. So for the forces of Lags 50,000, I believe it's 50,000, who knows. Looks like we do have a bit of a hardcore build, which is quite interesting. The new greenskin war mechanic definitely kind of pushes you towards playing a more kind of wide formation overall to get that war quickly as possible, but elite formations can work. Looks like we do have some Goblin Wolf Riders for harass, Goblins in the front line mixed in with triple Black Orcs here. These guys, I love their new colour scheme. They look so much better in their traditional black paint here than compared to the red they were in previously. Looks like we have a couple of units of Stone Trolls as well to back those guys up. The 8 Peak Loonies with their Fanatics in the back line. Going to be surging forward with some Fanatics, no doubt. The Hammer of Gork, Regiment of Renowned Goblin Rock Clobber here. You don't get to see too often. When you do see in action, it does tend to be the Hammer of Gork. We do have the Black Orc Big Boss on top of his boar here today. Looks like he's not going to be bringing his armour, just his sword. So yeah, Brass Claver, of course, he does give Rabble Rouse, so immune to psychology to all those around him. Certainly going to be helping out those lovely trolls. What a fantastic model overall. There's also a Goblin Shaman as well, coming in with just Vindictive Glare. So quite expensive, considering he's just bringing that one spell, of course, because of the spider. But still, it can do some great work, take down dragons and all sorts, doing that consistent fire. Ah, this is why. He also has a giant River Troll Hag coming in with Spirit Leech. Really good build. Now, for the forces of the High Elves here, and the mighty tank, he does have some Illyrian Reaver archers up front. We have Rahagras Pride as well on the right-hand flank, Regiment Renowned War Lines, one of my favourite units thematically, and they're pretty damn good. They do, of course, come in with this very scary Mighty Roar, which gives minus 25% speed and minus 8 leadership, which can be pretty big. Looks like the boys are ready. So we've got Silver Helms, Mage of Death. What is this? I haven't seen this. Mage of Death on a chariot. This is pretty badass. Spirit Leech. Is that Doom and Darkness? God damn you. Aspect of the Dread Knight and Doom and Darkness, of course. He's going to be rolling dirty with Imric on his mighty steed. White lines of Chase all along the front line with some Sword Masters of Hoeth. One unit of Sister Avalon and more Silver Helms. Pretty fun rock and roll build here. Certainly going for an absolute blitz. If Imric does indeed have his horn, which he does, once this front line engages, it will trade very effectively up against the Black Orcs with the AP here of the White Lines when combined with that horn. In a long engagement, these Stone Trolls could certainly cause a bit of a problem. So it looks like Spirit Leech, in fact, going down on the Hammer of Gork here. It'll be interesting to see what this does affect. I'm not sure if it affects the artillery crew or the pieces themselves, but certainly going to weaken it regardless. And it looks like the Sister Avalon, who are going to be a fantastic counter here to the Black Orcs. There's no point really shooting the Stone Trolls. You'll still do great damage, but they do have a bit of resistance. Just start to whittle down the Black Orcs, so when you do get in there, you can really start mulching them down. Now, Hammer of Gork has taken some damage, but is all still fine. Lean Reavers, though, might be able to get in here and do a little bit of poke. Ah, it looks like the Sister Avalon have, in fact, switched targets, really trying to bring down the Hammer. And they're doing some decent work, but, oof, Jesus. Sister Avalon taking some massive damage in retaliation here. Silver Helms have taken a little bit of poke as well. And yeah, looks like the Hound Gold though is starting to go down now rather quickly. Down to just 2 models. Another Spirit Leech is being committed to this fight to try and drag these guys down as much as possible. And the Mage of Death is going to be pretty good as long as she can avoid the nasty Stone Trolls and of course the Spider. Anything with mass that can pin her in can be a real problem. But apart from that, she's going to be able to run through Black Orcs and Goblins for days. Hammer of Gork is down to just a single model here. And is very soon to be annihilated, but it's traded pretty effectively. Got Sister Avalon down to half health, which is certainly no mean feat, but it will force the Greenskins to advance, and here they go. They are going to be starting to move in here, and this will allow the wider formation of the High Elves to wrap around them and hit them from all flanks. Silver Helms can prepare to charge as well, and Liam Reavers have just started to push up. And yeah, looks like Goblin Wolf Riders are starting to push down the flank. Greenskins are going to pressure. But while all this damage is being taken into place, the war meter has not been filled at all yet. So it's going to take a little while before it does kick in. And by that point, you can lose a lot of your troops. Silver Helms do have Miver put down on them, so I can be slowed a huge amount here by 72% speed. But it looks like not quite quick enough for the Stone Trolls to counter and really punch those guys too effectively. Black Orcs are engaging in the front line. And Sisters of Avalon are going to be taking down the Goblin Great Shaman, which is a perfect choice. He's not actually that tanky, definitely not as tanky as the Arachnarok Queen at least. And in the front line we can see White Lions with the Dragon Horn going up against the Black Orcs here, but they're still very much outclassed. They should be able to trade relatively effectively. Rahagra's Pride has popped in here as well. They're going to be bouncing into the back on top of the Stone Trolls. Imric has been brought into the back lines with his anti-large and his glorious spear here. Going to be poking down some Stone Trolls. Should do some fantastic work there, forcing those guys off. And a lovely mighty roar by the Rahagra's Pride does break those guys. I would now simply take some of the Liam Reaver archers and chase these guys down would definitely be the best bet here. Looks like a Vindictive Glare does go down onto Imric, but some of his loyal Silver Helms do jump into the way there for a bit of protection. And the Black Hawks are being crumped here by a thunderous charge in the rear, led by Imric, the Dragon Prince himself. And it's going relatively okay for the High Elves so far, however the war has just been popped. Stone Trolls are being broken off and chased down by Liam Reaver archers, which is really good value. And the Goblin Great Shaman is starting to struggle a little bit, but fantastic play by the Greenskins, getting the Goblin Wolf Riders into the back line on top of the Sisters. Now, they're pretty decent melee combatants themselves. When juiced up by the war, the Goblin Wolf Riders can certainly go toe-to-toe with them. Well, it looks like they are slowly being shut down here. The White Lions, though, starting to struggle in the front line. Black Hawks showing their durability here. Could be a good bet to chase these guys off and finish them for good. But it looks like most of his units are chasing trolls and kind of other units dotted around. Doom and Darkness has been popped onto the Goblin Great Shaman. A spell I think is very underrated. It can do some huge work overall and win these really key engagements. Now the Goblin Great Shaman is running for the hills. As long as he manages to keep on top of him and drag him down, I can't see the Greenskins coming back from this. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Well, then again, I mean, all the higher front line has completely buckled here, but he's managed to pull off the really key units. So if he can drag down this Goblin Great Shaman, force him off, he may be able to get some good routes with this consistent cycle charging. But Black Hawks are standing strong here, as well as that Giant. So it's a very close game. The Liam Reavers do finish off those trolls completely and shatter them. They need to get back to this main line, probably use them to chase down the Great Shaman here. Some lovely fanatics have been popped, tearing into this Mage and Silver Helms. But where is Imric? He's hunting down trolls, doing his little best. And I quite like Imric here. A lot of people don't see him as competitive. And I think Teclis is still going to be the go-to option as well as Alariel. But he's certainly good in certain matchups, and this can be one of them. He's fantastic at taking down large foes, and he's quite cost-effective on top of his mighty pony. White Lions being crumped here. These gits are getting crumped by these glorious Stone Trolls, who of course are regenerating this entire time. There's still 10 models as well. 8 Peak Loonies are here, so there's probably a couple of Fanatics left. And it's a decent little core. However, he has allowed all the High Elf forces to rally here, so as soon as they chase off this Goblin Great Shaman, he's simply going to move in, surround these guys, and slam in from all sides in one go, which could prove to be a little bit too much for the Greenskins and their rather low leadership at this point. Since the Avalon are back online, just coving a few shots over top into the Black Orcs, getting some consistent damage. But there's a decent force of Greenskins here. Balance of power is only slightly against them. Looks like another spell is coming in here. If only he had like a purple sun there, that'd be disgusting. It looks like, was it a Spirit Leech coming in somewhere? Yeah, Spirit Leech onto the Black Orc Big Boss. Imric is still very much healthy, and Liam Reaver archers do chase off that Goblin Great Shaman. And I think it's going to be a stretch too far here for the Greenskins, but it's been a pretty damn impressive game so far. In comes the Mage, running over some of these Black Orcs in glorious fashion. However, getting pinned in as well, quite nastily here. This could be a big mistake. Miver popped down as well, lowering that speed by 72%. Oof, that's disgusting. It looks like she tried getting off, or she did get off an aspect of the Dread Knight on herself here to make her cause terror. But of course, Black Orc Big Boss is here, helping that immune to psychology. But no, don't leave. If he goes out just for a second, a lot of these units could be tear out. Of course, Black Orcs, though, I believe, do have immune psychology. Anyway, as you can see, straight away, as soon as he took Bob a little bit too far out, the Goblin Wolf Rise have been deleted. So nice play bringing in the Mage there, trying to do the terror out, but a little bit unsuccessful. It looks like the Mage did completely go down here as well. Is the Mage still in here anywhere? Oh, looks like she did manage to escape and is back. So, huge rout is starting to come in, though. Blackhawks are starting to flee in all directions. Imric is just too mighty and strong. And what he needs to do now is simply hunt down these units. Do not allow patrols to come back and get that fantastic value. And in comes another mighty roar. Rahagra's Pride being used very well so far, breaking the leadership of all the remaining units, apart from these unbreakable 8-peak loonies. That will probably push us over to army losses as well. But just to be sure, get the Illyrian Reavers, hunt down these Blackhawks, get Imric over here, hunt down the Stone Trolls, and all that good stuff. Looks like some Fanatics are swirling around here as well, trying to do some damage, but the Mage of Death hunting down that giant River Troll Hag. And yeah, this is going to be a game, I think, but still very well played. And yeah, Tank, a experienced player, very diligent play, just going to be taking his troops and not stopping any of this good value from coming back. Black Hawk Big Boss maybe had a rally here of a couple of the Black Hawks, but I think it'd end up being the same situation. They would have to bunch up to have kind of that safety in numbers, and then they'd simply get circled and charged to their doom here. 8-peak loonies, there's still 10 of these geezers left fighting, doing their little best impressions here of some warriors. But oh god, that is bloody. We see many of them get decapitated. And just as I say that, they've actually gone down to just the one model here. And as soon as they break, it's going to be really rough. So Stone Trolls being chased off by Illyrian Reavers on the flank. Rahagra's Pride up to only 17 kills, but their Roar has been used very effectively, hunting down at Black Hawks here. There's a little pocket of strength of rallying, but I think it's only a matter of time. So we do have double Black Orcs here, with 18 and 18 each. And the Black Orc Big Boss rallying to the Geezer. He has popped to get back here just to ensure these guys keep fighting a little bit. And I mean, a lot of the high health forces are starting to waver, but with Imric so healthy, I think he'd probably be able to solo most of that. And yeah, these Trolls and Giant River Hag are not coming back to the main fight. In come the Swordmasters, gloriously dancing into combat. And boosh. They do draw their blades. Up against the Black Hawks here. Black Hawks are starting to waver, but so are the Swordsmen, 17 on each. In come the White Lions, and I'm expecting Imric to do a nice rear attack, but that is going to be game. The chase on off has been solid by halves. So Tank is a very, very good player. He's one of those guys I've just never been able to beat, unfortunately. He's just, he does all the basics so well, plus so much more as well. But of course, chasing off units, having that kind of map awareness, he's very good at indeed. Really fun builds coming in though. The hardcore and elite greenskin build nearly managed to pull it off. The Blackhawks certainly managed to get a crump into those white lines, but mixed in with Imric and his Horn, giving them that extra melee attack, really allowed these guys to trade very cost effectively. GG. Map 2 is going to be Languil. I'll update the scoreboard and I'll come and chat with you guys for a little while. So Tank is going to be one up here. So what did you guys think of that? Bob versus Big Henry, he wins. Nice to see you, Omega Drive. Hope you're doing all good, man. Why do I feel this high elf army is a lot weaker inherently? So it had to be used well. It was a pretty tough build. He needed those roars to break the opponent, but he had the extra mobility to get around and then trade better against like Black Orcs. So he got Silver Helms to do rear attacks, whilst the duped up, White Lines with their little high elf war were kind of trading relatively effectively, and actually allow him to break down the enemy. Is this Hadri's ever chosen build? I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen it. Looks like you guys were enjoying though. White Line buff in this patch was pretty good. Yes, we are also playing on the beta, which fixes a few bugs as well as the weapon skill bug. So at the moment, unfortunately, in the base game, the any buffs you do to weapon skill or debuffs just do not work outright, which actually means the war is a little bit weaker than it is going to be in future editions of the game, as well as the rogue idol. So both of those will become more powerful. Imric MVP. Yeah, he just chased down the trolls, was consistent. There wasn't too much which could bring him down as well. And I do like the Shaman on top of the Spider. I think it's very good in his high elves, but he is particularly squishy. And as soon as he was gone, it was certainly an uphill fight there. I would agree. Captain in the game? Yeah, those roars are pretty damn good. That River Hag routing at full HP was rough. Yeah, I do like the Doom and Darkness he brought. I think that did a pretty decent job overall. Finally finding time for Total Warhammer in general again. Nice, man. It's good to see you around. Nice to see quite a few people, new people here as well that I haven't seen before, so I hope you're doing all good. Looks like they have sorted themselves out. Both got builds prepared here. So Counts versus Coast, an undead off here. Getting pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, guys, if you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome. Hope you do enjoy. If you are enjoying the stream, feel free to give it a big old thumbs up. It super helps out, kind of pushing out to more people, and I get to meet more people like you. And also feel free to subscribe, stick around for all that good Total War Warhammer content. If you want to get involved, by the way, in future tournaments like this one, King of the Hills, and so forth, or be featured on the channel, feel free to join my Discord, link down below. I have War versus Orc War. The Orc War is definitely better, but you know. Yeah, he still is a Goblin Joe, or Joel, but he's pretty cost-effective up against the High Elves. High Elves can actually really tend to struggle to deal with large entities. They've got a few more tools to do it now, but if you keep the spider moving, it's not too bad. But Sister Avalon were a really nice counter there, as well as Imric. A Grindfest is indeed coming, Stormrunner. Oh dear God. I'm not very good with the undead factions myself, but there's a few people in my clan who are very, very good at them. Poison Ducky, for example, is incredibly good Vampire Counts player. So, coming in first for Lags, who is one down in this best of 3, and he's taken the Vampirates. It looks like he has a mixture of bombers and handgunners all the way along the front line here. I'm assuming they're going to be put just behind. And it also has the Shade Wraith Gunners, Regiment of Renowned Deck Gunners. These guys are ethereal, so they can be a pest to take down. I've seen them used very effectively, and in a grind fight, they could be pretty damn tasty indeed. Looks like he's also bringing some Rotten Prometheans as well. Is it just the one unit? Yep, looks like just the one. He also has a ton of deckhand mobs. We have double mortar as well, with polearms sitting on top of it. Just making sure he's all good. Yeah, plenty of room to squeak around. We have Count Noculus as well, on top of his mighty walking construct here. These Necrofex Colossuses are glorious looking models and very scary indeed. Here's bringing Captain Roth's Moondal for extra summons. We have Wraithstorm, Invocation of the Heck, Wind of Death. Oh, that's going to be so good to see if we can catch one of those. And more summons as well. So very competitive build overall coming in here by the Coast deck droppers as well. Now, for the forces of the Counts and the legendary tank here, he does have a black coach, which will be able to do fantastic damage as long as it avoids all that nasty fire. It's a really cool model, actually, with the coughing kind of bouncing up and down. We have Black Knights as well, aplenty, 2 on this left-hand flank. A front line of Skeleton Warriors, Skeleton Spearmen, and Zombies all mixed in together. We have Double Banshee. Now, this is something which has become very, very common. These pretty decent assassins at taking down the enemy, and they're really sticky and annoying to deal with. They can be a huge pain. Apart from that, more Skeleton Warriors and Zombies into the sunset. We have some Crypt Horrors as well, triple Crypt Horrors in fact, just to try and push through and really punish the opponent. Double Fellbats up in the sky, as well as a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. And their dragons look so goddamn awesome. Up there with my favourites, to be honest. I think Forest Dragon's my favourite looking design, but still. Heart Piercer, Helm of Discord, which is going to be very nasty here. Also have Raised there for some summons, Dance Macabre as well, Invocation of the Heck, as well as, of course, the Pestilent Breath from the dragon itself. So super fun build coming in. Should be some good stuff. Now, we are playing the attacking rules. Both players must attack, but he is far away enough as well from the white lines. There's definitely plenty of space, I think, to get around there. Should be some good stuff. What's up, V-Claw? Yes, the Crown V-Claw. That works pretty well, actually. Black Coach seems risky. It's risky. It can get shot to pieces. But at the same time, it can get some disgusting value over the course of a grind sesh. Looks like these boys are ready. Fellbat's going to be used just to chase down the deck droppers, probably. And at least force them away from key targets. But it looks like Lags does know this and is going to be falling back. He will need to start advancing with some other troops in just a second. Oh no, it looks like his mortars are in range. And they're going to be launching some shots forward, which is fine. They are going to be aiming at the Fellbats here, and as you expected, are going to be missing. Nice little juke coming in just in case by tank, but he didn't really need to in the end. And in come at the Shade Wraith Gunners as well. Obliterating those Fellbats pretty nicely here, but again, they are wasting ammo on just simple bats, but huge damage straight out of the gate here. Now, the Vampire Count's forces are relatively slow, so Tank doesn't want to engage too early or get, his Crypt Horrors too close and start getting them shot, whilst the rest of his army is simply catching up. Looks like Mortar has come down on the Crypt Horrors here, but not going to be doing too much damage, as the Counts do advance here up against the Coastal Karin in the corner for now. Blood Dragon Vampire looks like he got a little bit too close. Was he trying to drop some sneaky magic, perhaps? We'll be taking a pound in here and having to fall back as quickly as possible. Deck Droppers as well doing a decent job on the Crypt Horrors here, slowly dragging them down. And Deck Droppers doing a decent job. Oh, not Deck Droppers, sorry. The Deck Gunners. Oh, so many decks have forced off that Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. They have some really long range. It's pretty damn crazy, actually. Coming with 245. Mortar's going to be doing some fantastic work up against the Skeleton Warriors overall. If they do make contact, looks like they've mainly missed so far. Crypt Horrors simply waiting as well. Now, the summons are going to have to be used very effectively here by the coast, just to pin in their enemy, as they are going to be losing that main infantry fight. Fellbats do drop down onto the zombie gunnery mobs here, but it looks like the Royal Prometheans are going to be countering. Black Knights, though, swooping around to pop on top of these bombers, and they're going to delete those guys in seconds. Look at their leadership just completely tanked here. There is going to be some nice crossfire, though, by the Shade Wraith Gunners. They are slightly obstructed and firing into Fellbats, which isn't going to be the greatest value. We have some more Black Knights as well, loop around this poor little peasant hovel here. Certainly going to be doing some good damage. A nice summon in the front line, though, by Lags, popping those zombie pirate deckhand mobs down to pin in those Crypt Horrors and stopping them from getting too close. We're probably going to see a breath attack coming down now. Banshees have started to advance as well, and a big breath attack is going to be coming down, I feel. Let's see. Black Coach does start to drive through the enemy line. Of course, does do magic damage, so it's perfect for taking down the Shade Wraith Gunners. Looks like the Dragon just going to be swooping around, having a good time. More Black Knight play as well. Excellent. Has swooped in here on top of the handguns, but the Bomber's doing some surprisingly large amount of damage to these guys. They certainly want to be bouncing between the two, and unfortunately has kind of committed with a lot of his skirmish forces before the main line was here. You really want to hit with both at the same time, but I suppose it is going to allow the front line to get there relatively unopposed now. Unfortunately, these Black Knights have been absolutely devastated by the combined forces of these Bombers and the Gunners, and the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord thought about diving in there, but has decided to retreat back. Unfortunately, the Black Coach has been a little bit mismicroed here and is getting a little bit stuck. Still did some decent damage, up to 53 kills, and if it can stay alive and get out of the situation, be healed up, it can still do some fantastic work. Those Shade Wraith Gunners have been basically destroyed by it single-handedly. Crypt Horrors are starting to roam the fields. Blood Dragon Vampire Lord needs to be very careful, though. He is doing a fantastic job taking down these Deck Droppers, but he is now a sitting target for Count Noculus, which is very scary indeed. And this is going to be a Wind of Death, I believe, coming down. Unfortunately, there's just some Skeleton Warriors and Crypt Horrors chilling. Looks like it was, in fact, cancelled. I don't know why I thought Wind of Death. That was the wrong build. I'm not sure that spell was coming down there. But Crypt Horrors are now starting to advance, and it's looking a little bit messy and scary here for the Vampirates, in my opinion. Black Coach managed to get free, up to 81 kills, running over the handgunners and doing some fantastic backline presence. Banshees hunting down Bombers. There is a pocket strength over in the far distance, but Summon Skeleton Warriors should do some good work. Blood Dragon Vampire Lord is getting held up by invocations as well, but they definitely need to shut down Count Noculus. Looks like he may float over to this left-hand side, but Crypt Horrors are beating the crap here out of zombie pirate deckhand mobs as well as the Bombers. In the back line, we do have some summoned Skeleton Warriors being sacrificed to the great Bomber gods here. Black Coach simply rolling over troops. Such good pick so far. I've really enjoyed how he's used them. I think earlier he got a little bit stuck, but at the same time he was getting rid of those ethereal units, so it's not the end of the world. Double Banshees have popped on top of Count Noculus, going to be doing some really good work and damage overall onto him. And in comes the Wind of Death. There it is, going through basically nothing, doing the tiniest amount of damage here. We have another invocation in the heck. There's been great pressure put on the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, but Tank has known when to pull him out and keep him at distance, heal him up before coming back in once again. Ron Prometheans are still very strong, but they're not going to be able to carry this game by themselves. They need to be over in the main blob helping out Count Noculus, as Black Knights are now going to start roaming into the back lines, shutting down mortars and so forth. Count Noculus, though, is a bit of a beast here. He's not the greatest melee combatant, but he's not the worst at the same time. He's not the greatest duelist because of his model, unfortunately. The Blood Dragon Vampire Lord just chilling here, making sure that these bombers are indeed going to be going down. Should probably swoop onto their second unit for now. Black Coach up to 161 rock hard kills. Is getting pinned in by these sneaky rotten Prometheans now, but it looks like Tank does realise this and is simply going to be dragging away. Bombers are going down here to the Black Knights, bouncing one back and forth between the combats. It is such good micro. If you want to learn how to play Vampire Counts, watching people like Tank can really help you out a huge amount here. Once again, the Blood Dragon Vampire going to be floating over the enemy. I don't think I've seen him use any breath attacks just yet. I'd like to see some of those go down on the count himself. Cryptoras are going to be pinning in these rotting Prometheans, allowing the Black Coach to escape, who can then go onto the bombers instead. Here we go, a big breath attack coming down the flank. It is going to break the leadership of both the mortar and the pole arms here. Balance of power is starting to go Counts favoured, and it's looking a little rough. However, the Counts themselves are relatively beat up. It looks like we have, double Skeleton Warriors have been forgotten over on this right-hand flank by Tank. Bringing those guys into here would certainly help clear it up. Otherwise, the coast could possibly bring this back. If they can break these Banshees and drag them down and rally around Noculus, this could be pretty tough. These guys really need to get back over here, saturate in, and do some great damage. Perhaps he's saving them for the late game, but I don't think so somehow. Blood Dragon Vampire Lord has popped a Heart Piercer on, allow him to pull apart these Rotten Prometheans and feast on some delicious crab. The Count Noculus is really struggling up against the double Banshee, and that cycle charge coming in from the Black Coach is probably going to be able to club most of the chaff around him. So Count Noculus taking a few pot shots out of anger here. Mortars have started to lay some shots into the Skeleton Warriors, who have now been activated and remembered. We'll say tactical reserve Skeleton Warriors here are being brought back into the main line. Mortars are still active, 113 kills on one, 102 on the other. They've certainly paid their weight in gold, but unfortunately a few of the other units are slowly getting dragged down. Blood Dragon Vampire Lord is going to be definitely and more than a match for Count Noculus, who's running low on ammunition as well. Black Coach does pop in for a nice cheeky attack, and of course the longer the game goes on, the more the Black Coach will do damage-wise. Looks like the Dragon may just float back here and finish off these mortars. Looks like he's had enough of them a little bit. Oh no, is this going to be a breath attack? Oh no, it is going to be a summon. Nice play. Zombie is going to be summoned on top of the mortar. Just going to be shutting down and bogging it in as much as possible and forcing that balance of power ever closer in favour of the Vampire Counts here. Black Coach once again being harassed by these Rotten Prometheans. Nice play by Lags into this late game, really shutting down the Black Coach as much as possible after kind of the initial damage it had done. Count Noculus is getting Invocation in the heck here, and the Blood Dragon is slowly going to be munching on Count Noculus now, and he's just made of no rotten flesh and wood, so a big zombie dragon shouldn't have too much problems. Banshees as well, just messing him up as much as possible, slowly dragging him down, but those Skeleton Warriors getting annihilated here by the mortar in on their approach. Over on the far side, looks like the coach is going to be going toe-to-toe here, but you can see he's got pretty decent stats overall, and looks like Rotten Prometheans are starting to crumble as well, so he's probably going to win that section as well. This has really come down to the bare bones of both armies. As we can see, we did have over, nearly 4,000 troops to start with, and we're now down to just over 400. So, not going to, not being the quickest of games, been a good slaughter though. Mortar are being dragged down now by Skeleton Spin in the back lines, who have finally managed to shut down the artillery support here. And Count Noculus, he's trying his best, but he's not going to be enough here. Looks like we are going to see some Psycho Charge. A nice stagger there onto the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord as he does get whacked. A couple of big stomps. Looks like he didn't enjoy that at all. He's going to be turning and facing, and that is going to be a glorious 2-0 to Tank. God damn, that was powerful. That was a hell of a game. That was a hell of a game. I'm always down to play Chaos into counts. I won't win, but it's a fun fight. Omega Drive, speak to Papa Palpatine, man. He's like the one guy who loves that matchup for Chaos. It's pretty insane. Really fun game overall. Well played to Lags as well, a true champ, even though he's going to be leaving us here. Huge damage on his mortars, and I quite like the build as well. It certainly had teeth to it, but unfortunately got outdone by some fantastic micro on that Black Coach. 206 kills, and the double Banshees, he just didn't have anything to take those guys out. They hopped on top of Noculus and just chipped away, just constantly chipped and chipped and chipped, and while he was kind of, distracted trying to shut them down, the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord was being used all over the field, as well as these Black Knights to clear up the rest of the army. Well played, thanks, and see you in the finals. No worries, man. GG, well played. Great games, Tank. I'll see you in the finals. Hop into stream to see when you are up. And well played to Lags as well. Great game overall. Let's update the score now quickly. Cool. Let me message Erwin as well. Make sure he's here now. No worries. Ice Power. And Erwin. Just going to send them a message. You boys are up. Pass is 1, 2, 3. Cool. Q. Looks like those boys have popped out, so I'm going to be switching maps now. So this second semi-final is going to be played on Toothgrass Hill, Altdorf Outskirts, and Kelp and Coal Dust. There we go. So what do you guys think of that? Count's Mirror. V-Claw, don't give them any ideas. No ideas, dude. Yo, what's up, Zootron? How's it going, bud? Oh, we've got tons of people in here. Hope you guys are all good, man. I don't even need my full army. That's the real flex here. Oh, you came against a Mirror Omega Drive against Anticity, Dwarfs on Dwarf. That's going to be rough, man. Erwin's pretty damn good, apparently. Hopefully he can make it. So he was actually meant to be in the first semi-final, but he had to go do something, so hopefully he's back. Cool. As quick as possible, please. We are on live stream. Cool. Looks like he should be here in just 5 minutes, so. And Ice Powers is just rebooting his computer. Cool. So we've got a couple of minutes to chat, chill out. What do you guys think of that? That was some pretty insane stuff overall. Now everyone cheer for Ice Power. So I haven't actually faced either of these guys myself, but I believe Ice Power has played in a King of the Hill with us before. Owen Smith, as others have told me, has been tearing up kind of some of the smaller tournaments out there and has started to make a name for himself in the bigger ones as well. Just going to refresh chat here. Make sure my phone is all connected to the internet still. It's annoying, sometimes it disconnects. Yeah, it looks like it has, even when my computer internet's always fine. I think it must be something bugged with my phone, unfortunately. Let's sort that out quickly. Cool. Cool. I want to see all your glorious faces again. Or your glorious speech, I suppose. And we're back. Awesome. I would have beaten them all so easily. Hey, you moved, man, so you dropped out last second. You could have been here, dude. Bretonnian is one of the few factions Vampire Count is good against. Well, unfortunately for them, Bretonnians basically never get picked. Which kind of sucks. Bretonnians are definitely kind of the lowest tier. Yup. Send me Steam number. Cool. Looks like Owen Smith is on his way. He's just he can't see the lobby, so he's gonna send me a friend request basically, and I can invite him in. Q. I have it here. Let's go on Steam and load in. V-Claw, how did you go in this tournament, by the way, dude? I know you were in it. I think, did you run into Tank early on? Because I was expecting to see you kind of near the later stages, but yeah, you might have had an unlucky first draw, I think, which does happen. Because Tank is a scary dude in general. So Erwin Smith has been added. Let's add him in here. Where is he? I'm blind. Oh, has he just joined? Nice, Ice Power. Oh, he might have accepted. Yeah, what am I doing? Sent. Cool. So do you have Ice Powers? Hey, bud. Let's update the scoreboard while we're at it. So we are going to have ice power. Against Erwin Smith. Q. Bam. In this second semi-final, so who will come through to meet Tank A? Here he is. Hey dude. Let's double check. Ice power, seeing if it is himself, and it is. Cool. Map is Toothgrass Hill. Maps are Toothgrass Hill, Altdorf, Outskirts, and if it goes all the way, Kelp and Coal Dust. Cool. Looks like, oh, cool, did go through. Looks like Ice Power is going to take Coast. Okay. Yeah, it should be Coast. Coast and Bandawi and Empire. Good stuff indeed. What's up, Aristodemus, man? How's it going, my dude? Raptor, me and Ronan agree on a lot of things. Oof. Is Ronan here today? I don't know if I've seen him. I don't think he was able to play, unfortunately. Good news, my cousin will get discharged tomorrow. Yes! Yes! That's great news, A-Move. I hope... so assuming you knew about the charity stream Samurai Warrior did the other day, A-Move. Undead are the worst. I agree, Papa Palpatine. Although as an undead Sith Lord, you should probably think of something else there. Cool. These guys are sorting themselves out. It looks like we do have Bretonia. No way. Is Erwin Smith going to be a man of the people here? I'm not sure. Oh no, he's going to be High Elves. And Ice Power has just dropped out as well. Clearly he's not a big fan of facing High Elves. Ronan is hiding from A-Move. No doubt, Raptor, no doubt. Don't lump Vampire Camps in with the other undead. I lump them all together. I'm not sure if I have Ice Power as a friend on her. Yeah, wait to see him hop back in. Too bad Tank himself thinks Vampire Count sucks. I mean, he's winning with them pretty damn effectively. It's a question of how you choose to abuse them all the way in a tournament, dude. Yes, for those who don't know, A-Move, we did a charity stream called A-Move versus the World not too long ago. You can go back and check it out. And it's been pretty damn cool. A lot of other people, as well as Aristodemus himself, Samurai Warrior, and a load of other content creators have also done charity streams as well for the same cause. If you want to find out more, I definitely recommend going back and checking out that charity stream we did. It was about a week or so ago, I think now, and we were raising money to help out a family member of our very own A-Move hacker here, who is Tehenuin, the red host in chat, and it looks like she's doing pretty good. So hopefully you managed to help out, man, as much as possible. I noticed Tank's builds are almost always 2 heroes on the board, 2 Banshees or 2 White Kings. That's very powerful. Wood Elf is a horrible first pick. Yeah, Wood Elf is a nice counter pick. Where are they going? Where are you boys gone? Let's see, did they say something in Discord? Cool. When are you on here? There he is. Similar invite. So Ice Powers, I don't think he can tab out when he's on this beta, unfortunately, but he should be able to hop in now. Hey, Poison Ducky, I was actually speaking about you earlier, man. How's it going? Yeah, Wood Elves are certainly good, man. They don't suck, but you don't really want to pick with them because they got quite a few hard counters, unfortunately. But Wood Elves are very good in certain matchups. Unfortunately, it can only be played in like 2 or 3 different ways, at least kind of like really effectively, which kind of sucks. What is going on? won't let me open your message, Erwin. No. 2 secs, guys. I'll rehost a lobby. Looks like both these guys have crashed. So unfortunately, this is what I hate betas like so much with like a passion, because they always mess stuff up like this. Sometimes you can't like do spectator mode and all that kind of stuff, and of course there's always miscommunication about getting people onto the beta as well for tournaments. But we've rehosted here. See how this goes. I'm able to tow out luckily, otherwise this would be a nightmare. Tooth Grass Hill is. Cool. So let's see if these guys can hop in now. F indeed. V-Claw, apart from 1 or 2 players, man, some people actually like the Chaos Vampire accounts matchup, but yeah, it's very rare. I am stuck in a car on a 10-hour drive. I traded driving shifts and now I can watch stream. Hell yes, Poison Ducky. I hope your holiday is going well, by the way, buddy. Poison Ducky is currently in Florida, I believe. Except Aristo. Aristo knows. Crash before Dishonour. No, don't curse it. Right, Erwin's here. Stay. Sit. Got him in here. I don't have ice powers. But they've sorted out their matchup, which is fine. Okay, let's see where ice powers is on Discord. Where are you, Mr. Ice? Where are you? Hopefully his whole computer hasn't crashed. That'd be a bit of a nightmare. I'll tell him to add me as a friend on Steam anyway. It might be easier that way. He might just be hidden on Discord, but I'll see if his PC's crashed. At least Erwin can get building his army and so forth. Chaos has a real rough time removing the Mortis engines. Yeah, they can kind of get ground down, I suppose. I think it's because it's true. Spoken like someone who's made a faction as them. Yes. A-Move summed it up perfectly there. I think as a main, you can pinpoint the weaknesses a lot more, and you see them a lot more. So. What's up, Cherry Gaming? Nice to see you, dude. Why do best scores lose to Storm Vermin and Hammerers, E-Tech? Because Beastmen need an update. They have done for a long time, unfortunately. Okay, cool. So Ice Powers is back. He's logging in Steam now. Cool. He's on his way. Okay. Just don't tell out, lads. Just sit tight. Play games. You just need a bit of luck and a Kolek hammer swings. That's the life of my... that's going to be the title of my autobiography there. A little bit of luck and a big old Kolek hammer swing. Dwarfs OP. Dwarfs OP confirmed. Heard it here first in chat by Mr. A-Move. Dwarfs are pretty cool. They have... they're an okay faction. Again, they're a real risky first pick because they have so many hard counters, but at the same time they hard counter a few foes back as well. So, you know, I think they're okay, but I would like them to get buffed as well a little bit. Just because I love the Dowie. I want to see more Ungrim. I bet new greenskins. Greenskins are really good, man. Greenskins are pretty good indeed. Cool. Come on, Mr. Ice Powers, I believe in you. You can do this. Sorry about the delay, guys. Does happen from time to time. Of course, when connecting people from all across the world and all that good stuff. Balanced discussions, yeah, balanced discussions do go all over the place. This is getting sophisticated. Or philosophical, sorry. What is weak? Nothing is weak, man. Everything is equally balanced. Perfectly balanced as CA has demanded it. Nice to see so many people in chat though. I hope you guys are enjoying as we get the second semi-final underway as quickly as possible here. If you are enjoying, feel free to hit that big old thumbs up button. It really helps kind of push the video out to more viewers overall. And subscribe, stick around, have a good time. We have more Total War content, tournaments every single week, King of the Hills, all that good stuff. We'll probably be carrying on our Imric campaign tomorrow, so feel free to go and catch up with that. It's been some super good fun with chat basically trying to get me killed consistently. Cool. Ice Powers is now back online. At least on Discord. Dwarf DLC, please. Yeah, man, I think Wood Elves and Beastmen have been calling for it longer, though. I think you need both of those before Dwarf rework. Dwarfs rip apart Coast because their roster works against them. Yeah, Dwarfs are pretty good up against Coast. Like not OP. Yeah, you need to drop that like, man. You need to make it more OP. We can all hate on High Elves. That's a basic human right. Well, as a Dwarf main, who I know you are, I know High Elves are a very tough matchup for the poor little Dowie. They were before the DLC, and now after the DLC, it's just got worse. Cool, he picked High Elf. Cool. So Ice Power is still loading up. The computer is struggling, it seems. What else, Beastman DLC? Amen, V-Claw, amen. That's what we need. So, how is the weather? Anything but a balanced discussion. What would it take for CA to push multiplayer more into mainstream, in your opinion? Perfect question there, dude. They need to change the way the entire multiplayer system basically works, in my own personal opinion. The ladder system, I don't think it's very good. It doesn't really show you actually who's a particularly good player and so forth. And you just kind of, you can hop in your first game and get matched up against Falcon and just get annihilated. And I certainly think there should be a system like Quick Battle where you can hop in and play against anyone, but they definitely need to rework the structure of just like the competitive scene and like the basic scene, even as many games do. Different brackets and so forth, where people like platinum, gold, silver, and all that stuff, and you play with people in your same bracket. But also having a casual fun time as well. I think Challenge, which is the system we ran this tournament on, can basically be completely wiped out. It's a third party. It doesn't need use if Total War had a tournament system on their game built in. So for example, I could go on Total War, go to multiplayer, set up a tournament and invite people into the tournament from there. Not only would that make it much easier for people like myself hosting tournaments, but you wouldn't even need anyone to stream it. I could hop on, create a tournament, as soon as 8 people have loaded in, it just goes. And this has been done on so many different games. They just need to update basically the way multiplayer does work. I think they are starting to look into it a bit more and taking more notice as well, which is always good. But yeah, what is he doing? Can you not find the lobby? I rehost it. So I'm not sure if Ice Powers has hopped in the old lobby or something. No, I'm coming. Okay. Game is in the load screen. Okay, it looks like he's just still coming in. Did you just say ladder system good? No, ladder system is not good. Ladder system is not good. Ladder system is good for the sense of, I think there should be a casual, quick battle arena still. That should be fine. Keep that same system. But the whole leadership thing's terrible. It doesn't work. So, well, not leadership, like the leaderboard bit. So you should have another section kind of tagged along. So it needs to be multiple, basically. But that's my take on it. I'd rather spread the pea better. You could argue that, but yeah, people do blob against counts, but it's kind of needed, at this point. think my first match in quick play was against Faust. That's a deadly enemy to face, Poison Ducky. How did it go? I mean, I like the fact that I could jump in to face, like, Falcon, for example. And I faced many good people, especially early on. It's still a great experience. So I don't want that completely taken away from people, but you should have the option of, you know, the two different systems you play. No worries. Sorry. Ice Power just saying sorry, but it's all good. He's loading in. Double check to make sure it's not like consistently crashing or anything. Multiplayer options are really bare bones. That's what I mean. Yeah, there's so many ways they could expand it and take it out. I 100% agree. My first game was against a 19 range Empire stack. Disgusting. With dwarves, and I won, of course. Well played, man. That's true. On the bright side, no matchmaker makes it easy to stream snipe, but... Yeah, at the moment, the multiplayer scene is currently carried on the back of content producers, I feel. People like Tyranny does a lot of tournaments, Lawmaster Sotek does his tabletop one. There's loads of different people as well who don't even do it and stream it, but like my son HW as well does a load, who's very good. There's a ton of content creators out there who do tournament stuff, which is kind of really keeping the multiplayer scene, you know, buzzing. Which is good. And there's so much interest in it as well. Like, there's way more people watch multiplayer than actually play it, so it's trying to get those people involved as well. And I think with a system where you'd play people more of your level to start with and slowly build up, would encourage more people in. Because a lot of people just hop in, play 1 or 2 games on quick battles, get a couple of bad matchups, people instant lock in and only counter pick and refuse to play anything else. They lose a couple of games, lose heart, and don't play again, which, you know, sucks. I was against you, Aristo, yeah? Yeah, I'm glad Healing Caps got brought in. Okay, Ice Power just saying it's taking ages to load. We'll give them a couple more minutes, we'll try and short it out. If they keep both dropping out, we will have to figure something out. It's probably the new beta, unfortunately. Which sucks, but they do like to drop them. I understand why they drop them, and like the need for betas so they can test stuff out, so they don't run into problems like they have already with like the weapon skill bug not working, but it makes hosting and stuff an absolute nightmare. So thank you for bearing with. Remember the Death Star, man. Did I accidentally uninstall? It is taking a while. He says it's still loading. I don't have a clue if he's just running a potato or... He says it's usually really quick, so I'm not sure. It says he's playing Total War Warhammer. Like, I can see it on his Discord. So, who knows? We'll give him another 5 minutes. If not, we'll have to figure out a plan. Not sure who he actually knocked out in the last round. If they'll even still be around. Looks like Lupin the Third. Haven't heard of him before either. He's got quite a few new faces in today's tournament. It's been pretty good. Looks like Tanks probably had the roughest track coming in here, having to take out V, Claw, Ice Scary, and Consular Rome, plus Lags in that last semi-final. Some very good competitors. Lags himself, though, managed to take out Prussian Prince. That's a very impressive display from someone who claims to be a bit newer to the game. Prussian Prince is a bit of an OG Total War Warhammer player. Has a fantastic YouTube channel as well. Warhammer 1 cheese was real. I remember back in the day, and I think it was... Hey! Whoop! Whoop, whoop. Oh, looks like he's trying to load in still. No, Ice Powers, I believe. We've had him on the channel before, I'm pretty sure, and I think it worked fine. So I think it is probably the beta. Oh, God. I remember, yeah, back in the day I watched, like, hey, he's popped him. We had was it Legend of Total War Bretonia cheese like in Total Warhammer 1, and it was horrible. It was horrible to watch. He's a great guy, but like I remember watching and thinking, oh, this is amazing. And I started playing Total War, like dabbling with a bit of multiplayer, and I was like, I hate this. But I came back for Total Warhammer 2. Yes, 3 Gorbles, 2 healing potions each. Oh, so good. Manticore summons that do not degenerate. Oh. Prince isn't that experienced with this game? No, he's more experienced with Total War though, over I believe. He's played a lot of Total War games, but not so much the Warhammer ones. Back in my day. Like a scarred veteran. Back in my day. You didn't see the second line until you'd broken down at least 5 summons of zombies. Hey, okay, boom, go, go, go. Quickly before anything happens. Cool, and we're underway. Right, massive story about that way, guys. It does happen sometimes. It's not the player's fault. Nothing they can do, unfortunately. Sometimes the game does bug out a little bit. Yeah, well, that's what I understood. Like, he kind of dabbled with Warhammer, but he's kind of a bit more back now. But yeah, I played a lot of the other stuff. Oh, you guys, you sound so old in chat. Just reminiscing about the good old Warhammer 1 days before Rubber Ducker War was even a thing. I did come in on the Prophet and the Warlock DLC, I believe, was when I finally manned up. I did have the games previously, but on a really old laptop, so I could only really do campaign because I didn't want to put players through the horrendous wait times and lag and stuff of such a potato. So I did invest though quite heavily when Prophet and Warlock came out. I'm like, I'm a Lizardman fan, I'm going to bring it in. Alright, here we are, Toothgrass Hill. So a lovely big hill, of course. There's no teeth on it, but there is a lot of grass. And a lot of the time you'll see both players deploy right here and right here, and it's a big rush to the top of the mountain. But you can go into this nice wide open plain as well if you do want to shoot your opponent down a little bit and don't want to take the rush up the hill. Lots of trees as well, left-hand flank dominated by them, so you can do some sneaky stabbings. But for the most part, pretty basic map. Open plain, big old fat hill. Who is your money on? Honestly, I feel happy with how far the game has come. It really has. I'm super excited for Total Warhammer 3 and the stuff they bring with it, and I think they are going to focus a lot more on multiplayer, considering like how popular it's got, and you know they kind of do a lot of work anyway. Of course, we have the Ever Chosen and so forth. I watched Darv as well host a tournament on their own Twitch, Total War Twitch, so it's pretty good. Come on, guys, please load. This waiting time, by the way, has no indication of the player's like internet connection or anything, so don't worry about that. It's simply about their computers basically loading up in time. Looks like we are underway here. Both players have loaded in. It's a Christmas miracle. So let's get this underway. For the forces here of Owen Smith making his debut on the channel, we do have Teclis on top of his giant flaming bird here. Now this is probably my most hated unit in the game right now. I despise this. It's up there if you shop to great bows with Poish of Choroy and Regrowth. He's basically unkillable. He comes in with Enfeebling Foe and Net of Amentok as well for great map control. He is so goddamn pesky and tanky. However, to get the value out of him, because he is very expensive onto this bird, he is going to have to dive in and you know, do a little bit of damage to the enemy as well, and that can be very risky if he gets pinned in. Looks like for the front line, we just have a bucket ton of spearmen in a nice long formation here, with some white lines of chase on either flank. Now he's got a huge archery core, which is very common up against the Count, a little bit susceptible to mortar play, but he's got plenty of options to shut that down. Double Illyrian Reaver, then we have Lothran Seaguard triple, and quad archers as well. Do we have the Regiment Renowned ones? No. So 4 archers, 3 Lothran Seaguard, a couple of light cav, so basically very, very wide with Teclis, which is what I expected. Now for the forces of the Vampire Counts here and the legendary Ice Power Total War, we do have double Scurvy Dogs, going to be very important into breaking into that back line, shutting down the archers, but of course Teclis can then bomb down on top of them. For front line, we have Zombie Pirate Deck Cam Mobs dotted all the way along, which is all good to see. triple zombie gunnery mob handgunners here. 1, 2, and 3. Set up for a defensive formation. As you can see, he's not even going to bother taking the hill. He, of course, is undead and rather slow, so the high elves will be able to beat him to it. So it's not even going to bother contesting it. Do have triple mortar, it seems, as well. They're going to be very good up against the archer corps. And there's no bolt thread to take these guys down. They're going to be protected by some pole arms, literally saturated right on top of them, which is a good way to do it. It means you don't have to micro too hard. Gunnery White as well is going to be increasing the accuracy of these guys, giving them ammunition and all that good stuff. Lamprey's Revenge in the front line here. Such a fantastic looking unit. Have they been recoloured? A few units have been recoloured, and it always catches me out. These guys seem to have darker shells than I remember, but still, Regiment of Renowned Rotin Prometheans, incredibly tanky with their regeneration. And of course, Count Noctilus, going to be a bit of a menace in the night. He is currently 0-1, unfortunately, coming in his previous game, coming down to the counts, but coming in with the Roth's Moondial, Brave Storm, all that good stuff, Invocation Heck, and Raise Dead. Cool. Will be good to see. Who's your money on, lads? Perfectly balanced as all things should be. Oh, is Tank in chat? I can't see. Tank will be back after this, of course, in the finals. But who's going to meet him? Ice Powers or Erwin Smith? Erwin Smith is ready. And he definitely is going to want to stall his engagement, at least on this front part. He wants to wrap these guys up and over the hill first, get a nice surround before he does engage. You don't want to go in drips and drabs and get pulled apart by the mortars, the guns, and all that nasty stuff. He wants to put pressure on from all times. Good luck, have fun. Awesome. Both these guys showing some good sportsmanship. Cool. No need to wait for me. Yeah. Cool. And here we go. Numbers-wise, both relatively close. The high elves slightly outnumbered here. So basically, it's going to be a big game of can the archers get in there and do their damage before they get blown apart by mortars, which can be a bit of a struggle. As we can see, it looks like the army is going to be rotating around, which is the right way to play this. There's no point, just advancing straight into a bit of a death trap. So, looks like, yeah, they're also going to be advancing up. A little bit of lag coming in. Hopefully it will subside here. Guys are moving up really slow at this point. Q. And, yeah, Ice Power's simply going to chill back and wait for now. He does need to be attacking, but the mortar's just about to start firing. I can't see their range. I'll give him a couple of seconds, but I'll remind him in a little bit. There we go. He's going to start moving forwards. Perfect. Good stuff to see. Cute. So just checking on chat, making sure you guys are all good. Looks like everything's all good in the hood. So double Scurvy Dogs are completing this right-hand flank, hiding in the trees, which is pretty good for them. The hidden, of course, is going to be pretty key. And I'll allow kind of, the high elves to advance and then trap them as quickly as possible. High elves trying to take the hill as much as possible. A real slow push from them so far. Then Reavers as well, darting out wide, getting ready to do those nice flanking animations. And the White are literally walking forward at this point. Just going to be waiting and, yeah, trying to get into a nice downhill charge, which is going to be key for them. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to matter too much as long as they all engage in one go. The hill's not going to really play a part here because, of course, the counts can simply use their mortars to shoot apart the archers, and they have much longer range. The archers are going to be forced in. Now, do we have the Fire Invocation? It looks like we don't. That'd been great to see. I love that combined with the nets. They can do some really great work. So double Scurvy Dogs still just going to be waiting there. Alien Reavers are a fantastic counter to them, but of course they do not know they're there. If they commit to these guys too early, they should be able to shoot round. If I was the High Elves, I'd be using both my Alien Reavers to protect my backline as much as possible at this point. I mean, you want to hop on top of those mortars, but it's going to be a little bit tough here. So Count Noctilus is getting ready here, moving forwards just a little bit. Again, he's going to start lining up some shots. Oh, looks like he is shooting left here, I think, at the Alien Reavers perhaps. Was he just firing off a random shot? Who knows? He is slowly waddling forward here. Both players must attack. We are using the attacking. Go, come on, lads. There we go. And mortar is now shooting. Perfect. In comes Mortar and Kobe. Get some really nice contact there on top of the Spearman, dragging these guys down. Only taking out 8 models here, but doing some nice HP damage. They are going to want to be switching as soon as possible, of course, onto the archers. Looks like Alien Reaver's now going to be hiding in the trees as much as possible. And we do have Enchanted Ballistics, plus 60%, plus 60 actually, and 20 reload skill. Looks like it's not actually catching anyone though. Needs to fall back and actually catch these mortars with that. And in comes more strikes. Oh no, heavy lag. This is going to be a problem. Hopefully it will subside here. More shots are coming down. Looks like, oh, here's going to see some nice slow motion animations here, I suppose, of high elves being blasted to smithereens, which is always a good sight overall. Looks like these guys taking a bit of damage here, but are now in range. They're all going to be focusing down the Lamprey's Revenge, but these guys are really tough, and of course with their regeneration, and it is stalling all of these high elves as well, who have stopped to shoot here. Oh no, who is it? Is the problem. I don't want to have to get these guys to play off the line or anything. We will have to see who drops, because it's been quite a long while, obviously, since the first semi-final. Yeah, I think we're going to have to move on without ice powers, unfortunately. I really want to see him play, but if he's going to keep getting dropped... I think we may have to just move on. Give me a sec. Cool. So I'm going to speed swim quick and try and sort it out. Because I think we may have to just move on, unfortunately. If it's going to keep crashing and lagging and stuff, it's not fun for anyone, really. Be right back for 10 minutes. Oh, don't go anywhere, please. Cool. Cool. So I don't want to obviously delay you guys any longer than possible. I can always hop in and do like a practice game or something while we wait, but I think we're going to have to hop straight in. I suppose wants to try again. Okay, one more time, bro. Cool. So, one last time. Same armies. Go, go, go. If it crashes, we will move on to finals. You are lags. Oh, Coin Life. You did good, man. You did really good, man. You played pretty damn good. We need you, Ice Power. We need you. Owen, please do not say you have just left midstream. I am going to murder everyone. Let's go here. Cool. Message Erwin. And we'll see how it goes. No, it's still best of 3, dude. But we're trying to push it through. I'm hoping Urban hasn't just left, because we do have a rule in the up that if people do leave for 10 minutes, unfortunately they are booted. I don't want to slow down the stream, unfortunately. Is that how you got your nickname, Coin Life? That's pretty damn funny. You change your name to Lags because you had internet problems. It seems to be all fixed now, dude. You've played on the stream before and it's gone pretty damn well. Cool, looks like they're good to go. See, this time they had no, like, ice power just loads in straight away and there's no problems. So God knows. Cool. So we're trying this one more time. If ice power does get dropped again, we are just going to move on to the finals, I'm afraid. Where one of these guys will face tank. Cool. Back. Same maps, same builds. Let's get this cracking. Still need to go eat dinner after this as well. So, massive apologies, guys, about the distance between the last semi-final and this semi-final. Of course, the whole thing will be uploaded on YouTube afterwards, so people can always skip through to this point, but it's still super frustrating. And but it happens, you know, trying to get people to connect and stuff, it always has the potential to go wrong. But thank you for sticking with me and hearing my glorious ramblings. Hope you guys are still having a good time. And rumour has it, if you hit that thumbs up button, a puppy is born into the world, and the world becomes a better place. So it's always worth doing. Cute. I do love Lizardman architecture in the background. It is so glorious. Glorious. Look it up there. Oh, looks like we are back. Cool. So just a recap of the builds. Basically a big, huge archer line coming from the high elves. We have archers mixed with Lothar and Seaguard dotted all the way along. And we have basic, cheerful spearmen in the front line with 1 or 2 white lines as well. And I quite like this inclusion. Bringing in the white lines certainly gives them a little bit more damage output as well. A little bit more teeth to this cheap and cheerful front line. Double Illyrian Reavers as well to try push into the enemy. And Teclis on top of his giant Phoenix coming in with net, enfeebling foe, regrowth and his potions. He is the most frustrating lord to play against at the moment. Incredibly tanky, especially if you can't get into land, of course, and has pretty much infinite supplies of magic, although it looks like he hasn't brought his sword. That's very, very interesting. The sword is so powerful, gives you a unheard of kind of supply of winds of magic. Now, it looks like the vampires are going to be deployed in a similar formation to previously. So we do have double mortars once again, or triple mortars, sorry, saturated on by the zombie pole arms. Looks like the Gunnery White is a little bit further back this time, so his buffs hopefully should go off this time onto them. We do have triple zombie pirate gunnery mob handgunners, including the Black Spot here, who a lot of people do get kind of chuck, you know, light cav into these guys, not remembering that they actually have an anti-large bonus here, a nice bonus versus large, so they can certainly hold their own and do some decent work. In the front lines, we do have zombie pirate deckhand mobs, mixing with the Lamprey's Revenge, who do indeed look glorious, as well as Count Noculus. Look, have fun. Q. Just waiting on the Mr. Irwin. Looks like he's just sorting out his build here, which is cool. Lyran Reavers probably going to be used in Vanguard, you'd assume, once more. I should probably put some in these trees on the left-hand flank, as he already knows that he wants to loop up and over, and he certainly knows that these vampires are not going to be able to take the hill as well. So hiding one behind the hill and one in the trees could be a good bet, as of course he now knows there's nothing to pressure his back line from any flying threats or any of that kind of nasty business. Oh no, it looks like chat frozen on my phone. This new YouTube app can be a bit of a pain, unfortunately. But there we go. Cool. It looks like the lag has subsided, which is some glorious stuff. White lines of chase are being forced back here. Taking a nasty cannonball to the face, plus some mortars as well. Now, white lines of chase do come in with a tiny bit of missile resistance because of these glorious line cloaks. I believe all of the kind of white line units do in fact have that missile resistance. But, you know, it's not going to save them from a cannonball to the face. As you can see, these spearmen are taking some huge damage here as well. which is to be expected. So basically a similar start to last time, apart from the Hounds are certainly rushing forward with a bit more pace this time. And might cost them a little bit, although pretty much playing that in the exact same way. Lamprey's Revenge are pushing forwards here, just taking arrow fires to the face, which they're happy to do, of course. It's going to be slowing down at this archery core, allowing the mortars to do consistent damage over and over again. And it looks like these guys have been enhanced as well by the ballistics. No! You were doing so good! You were doing so good. There was no lag. Lags, you have cursed us. No. Hopefully it subsides. Nice. Ice power's been dropped. I'm afraid we're going to have to move on, guys. I'm afraid. I think we're going to have to get tank in here. No worries, bud. Yeah, so tank, if you'd like to hop in, man, we are going to have to move straight on to the finals. Super sorry, guys. Excited for that second semi-final. But yeah, Ice Power saying it's the best. The beta is kind of just messing him up, unfortunately, which is a real pity. I'd love to have seen those games. And Ice Powers as well, a true champ. I wanted to see his... he's had a fantastic tournament so far. Yeah, finals will kick off straight away. Yeah, no worries, Ice Powers. It's not your fault, my dude. That just real sucks. It's just the beta's messing him up, unfortunately, and his connection and stuff, which can happen, unfortunately. So, let's switch this around. And, oh, I can actually switch both around. Just tank. And Erwin Smith. Hey, bud. Yeah, sorry about that. It's really unfortunate. Ice Powers as well. Let's actually have a little quick look at his run. I know you guys can't see it up on the screen. But yeah, had a pretty decent go from at the start. I actually managed to beat Gobbo Slayer 2-0. Gobbo Slayer is a very competent player as well, before taking down Lupin at the third in the quarterfinals. So it's real tragic it's had to go down that way, unfortunately. But this is my problem with beaters. I've said it all stream. I despise beaters so much. I understand the need for them, but they really mess up hosting all these type of things. So it is going to be Erwin to pick and ban first. We'll stick with this one. We'll stick with Toothgrass Hill for now. Lag Gremlins win, unfortunately. It seems like Snarsnick has got a hold of Ice Power's computer, indeed. I blame Techless as well, man. Techless with his sneaky traps. No, man, it's not your fault, dude. It is really not your fault, Ice Power. See you in chat, man. It's the beta. They suck. They really do. I'm with you on this. I understand the need for testing stuff, so they don't have to keep re-releasing stuff over and over again. But it's really frustrating, and every time there's a beta out, there's always these problems in tournaments, man. It's not your fault, dude. You had a great run. We'll definitely get you back next time, man. But here we go. Erwin Smith versus Tank. Tank a little bit wide in chat. He said Erwin knows his builds quite well, so perhaps Tank is a creature of nature here. And creature of habit. Does the same builds over and over. We'll have to wait and see. Yes, Poison Ducky. I wasn't sure if you were here earlier, but there's a really fantastic Vampire Counts versus Vampire Coast game I know you'll enjoy, with a Tank taking down lags in a really cool game. Cool. Just going to double check Discord, make sure I got no more questions. Cool. So Owen Smith is going Empire and banning Vampire Counts and Dowie. Two good bans there, I think, overall. Oh, well, it'd be interesting to see who Tank does play. Of course, Tank is a Count main, so perhaps Erwin Swift knows he's going to pick him at some point, so he's got a little bit of a a counter to them in his back pocket, and you definitely do not want to be facing Dowie if you are Empire. It is a really tough matchup to run. But here we are. This is, of course, a best of 5 finals. Remember, finals is best of 5. So these guys know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying there, Stamos. Like, I've been hopping between the beta to playing tournaments, or I haven't actually done, to play this tournament, and then hopping off beta to do quick battles. It's so frustrating. But I want to do this on beta because that weapon skill bug is so huge and detrimental to a ton of builds and so forth. Hey, move! I'm not repeating that, man. I'm letting you rock with that. Cool. Looks like Tank is going to go Tomb Kings. Certainly seems to be a big fan of the Undead Boyos overall. Now, I know he is a lover of the Vampire Counts, but I'm not sure what other factions he plays too much. But I think I faced Tank once or twice in different tournaments, and I can't break him down. Him and Hadri's, I just can't do it. I'm going to let you guys enjoy A-Move and chat there. But yes, VM versus ODM, the ultimate showdown. Tank's anti-Empire build has everything, is so strong. Okay, I'm excited to see this. I'm assuming we're going to have 1 or 2 sneaky snakes to help deal with cav and so forth. There may be some new shop teas to try and trade with artillery and stuff, but it can be tough. It can be tough. Then again, if he comes in with the horsemen and so forth, they're really fantastic at hunting down artillery pieces, mainly because they're not unbreakable, they do crumble, but they will fight to the death, which is so goddamn useful. You hop on top of those artillery pieces, and even if they countercharge you, you can often drag them down, which is one of the things that makes vampire, well, not vampires, but all undead factions very powerful. But I'm excited to see it. Hopefully, by the time we have the finals, we will be off beta, which I'm assuming is going to be coming in later this week anyway, or early next week. We will try and have the finals next week if possible, but of course it's going to be organising with Anticity, Noob for Life, Tlaxlan Soothsayer, and then either Erwin Smith or Tank, depending on who makes it. Should be some good stuff. Previous champions, I believe, have been Zach B. Sane, followed by Chosen One and King of the Dead. Unfortunately, King of the Dead's not going to be able to regain his title here. He did play in one of the previous qualifiers, but I believe got taken out. But yes. What are you guys most looking forward to in Total Warhammer 3? Personally, I'm really excited for Hobgoblins. To see like a Genghis Khan kind of styled greenskin force, I think could be really hilarious. Chaos Dwarfs as well have kind of touted around for quite some time. They're definitely going to be in the game. There's no way they're not going to put them in. Maybe there'll be DLC. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see who the first 4 factions are. They've kind of run out of tabletop factions. There's Demons and Ogre Kingdoms left, and that is about it. I know Demons could be broken down even into 4 factions, but that'd be way too much Demon to be released straight away. So maybe we'll see 2 different Demons, Ogre Kingdoms, and then 1 other faction as well. Maybe Kislev or someone. I'm just going to move them around a little bit. You predict 2 Caskets of Souls. That's a pretty cool prediction. Caskets of Souls can be very good here. They can really hammer down on those state troops and so forth. But at the same time, they can be sniped out by cannons and other artillery pieces relatively effectively. Depends how Erwin wants to play this. He may end up going for a rush build. But as Tank said already, Erwin has played against him quite a few times and already knows his build, so maybe he'll have to do something a little bit off meta. Who knows? Ready when you are. Nice. Looks like Tank is on the ball. You can play Vampire Ghost in... I don't even know how to say that, man. In Khan style. I don't know what that Khan style is, bro. I'm assuming you're joking of some description, but... My little pea brain... Oh, Mongols. You cannot play Coast Mongol style. I mean, you can get Scurvy Dogs and a load of deck droppers if you count that the same. Sweet, looks like Erwin is ready himself. We're going to do the first game of this best of 5 finals. Just bring the same builds anyway. Yeah, sometimes it works, honestly. Like, even if they know your build, if it's a good enough build, sometimes you can't counter it. What's up, Noob for Life, man? How's it going, dude? Noob for Life is one of our finalists already. He's going to get chucked in the deep end as well. He's a very good competitive player himself. But Intensity and Soothsayer as well are quite renowned. Especially Soothsayer, he's kind of been the OG for quite some time. So it's going to be interesting to see who can dislodge him. So once again, back on the glorious Toothgrass Hill. Looks like we're loaded in really quickly this time, which is perfectly good stuff. And let's go through the forces of Erwin Smith here. So he does indeed have, it looks like, one mortar down on the low ground. We have Gotrek and a Jade Wizard, so nice healing capabilities coming in, as Karl Franz with Garmaraz and the Rune Fang, going to be dual wielding like an absolute bouse here on top of Deathclaw. Such a cool model from the original Total War Warhammer 1 game. And yeah, nice little hero core overall. And a shite ton of cavalry, which is really good to see. So a load of spearmen in the front lines, as well as just basic swordsmen, so no Sigma Suns, unfortunately. It's still going to cause, you know, little bits of problem, at least hold the enemy back for a decent amount of time. We do have double Empire Knights on this flank, as well as, are these some demigryphs? The Royal Aldorf Gryphites in the centre pocket. Double Empire Knights on the right-hand side as well. So cheap and cheerful all round. A ton of cav, as well as a ton of cheap frontline forces, but it certainly has some punch. Mortar's going to be using the hill to their advantage, and the heavy-hitting Karl Franz and Royal Aldorf Gryphites to bring down constructs alongside Gotrek. Now, for the forces of Tank here with his Tomb King forces, we have Nekakar Horsemen here on either flank, and then a ton of Skeleton Warriors mixed in with Spearmen. So again, pretty cheap and cheerful in his own front lines. We do have the Eyes of the Desert as well, regiment of renowned Sneaky Snakes. These guys are going to do so much work up against the Empire Knights, but they've only got 12 models, so can be relatively squishy. You can certainly hunt them down, so you have to be a little bit careful. We do have Arkan the Black as well, so no Cetra unfortunately, but Arkan the Black on top of his steed, bringing all the stereotypical stuff you would expect. Tomb Blade of Arkan, Staff of Nagash, the Liber Mortis, as well as Doom and Darkness, minus 16 leadership, and Spirit Leech. And he's going to be rocking with his bro here, the Tomb Prince, one of the ultimate bodyguards in the game, anti-large melee expert, armor piercing, all of that kind of good stuff. Looks like he's going to be taking a defensive formation over on this right-hand side. Once again, abandoning the hill. Does also have double Ushopti Great Bows and a Casket of Souls. So we do have one of these bad boys well and truly saturated in here with these Skeleton Spearmen. And because of the way he fires, he shouldn't actually catch any of those guys. It should just kind of go up and over. So a really solid kind of death box build here. Certainly going to be putting in the work. Looks like Arkan contemplating being outside of his box a little bit, going to be moving forward and doing lots of Spirit Leeches, but of course there is healing coming in from this Jade Wizard with Regrowth and Earthblood, so Karl Franz won't mind taking those too much. Ready. Awesome. The dreaded Sneaky Snakes. Oh, they're so tough to take down. The Sneaky Snakes, of course, are invisible as well. They have stalks. You can't see them until you're too late. You try and, you know, drop down Karl to take down your Shopty Great Bows and so forth. And as soon as you get down there, these guys just do a huge amount of burst damage off the gate. So it looks like the Shopty are going to be advancing, leaving the box a little bit behind here. He wants to stay in this formation as much as possible, so he's going to sneak forward, get one or two shots in before falling back, no doubt. Arkan the Black as well, riding forward, ride now, like, not zombie, undead Shadowfax. Pushing forwards, looking to maybe get one or two Spirit Leeches off on top of the mighty Karl here. Spirit Leech and the Royal Aldorf Gryphites might not be a bad play either. They've got 24 models, so you can do some decent work. And upright in the Nekakar Horseman as well. It looks like the Doom Box is going to advance a little bit here, but just enough that it's, you know, going to entice the enemy in a little bit closer and allow the Shopty to have a nice, safe place to retreat to. Casket of Souls does have pretty long range as well with 440, so should be lining up some shots relatively soon. Well, there's quite a wide map, this one, overall. Karl Franz taking one or two little pebbles to the face there, but he should be fine. He's going to be able to escape relatively easily. And in comes Gotrek. He's challenging Arkan the Black, no doubt, shouting over the oath and vengeance under the sun, leading the forces. He does not care for the petty squabbles of the men of the Empire. He is a dwarf doing dwarf's work, and he's going to be forcing himself forward here. Looks like Arkan the Black takes a little bit of damage, as he did overcast and miscast on a Spirit Leech here. Doesn't do any more damage when you overcast Spirit Leech, does just increase the range, catching those Royal Aldorf Gryphites, doing some serious work as well. Of course, they could be healed up here by a cheeky Earthblood or a Regrowth. Empire, though, once again, going to be kind of pulling back, pushing forward a little bit, just trying to dodge shots where possible and line up. Your Shopsy are spreading out quite nicely. You need to be careful and not to be isolated here by Empire Knights and bogged down too much. So it looks like the casket has started to unload here on this centre pocket. First shots, though, were a bit of a swing and a miss, as mortars as well are firing into skeleton spearmen. So we're going to have a bit of a cat and mouse trade here. You Shopty, though, if they can line up their shots onto this mortar, are going to be in a really good position here. But it looks like, nah, they're instead going to fire into Empire Knights, which I think is the smart play. The mortar sure can do some damage, but you don't want to get these guys isolated by these knights on their own. Sneaky Snakes may want to be pushing up here and getting ready to support as well. The Shopsy are having to fall back to the Doom box now, and the mortar doing some good work here on the skeleton spearmen. Same time though, they are just spearmen, they're kind of designed to be killed. Some lovely shots are arcing through the sky here, down on top of these swordsmen, but not really connecting, to be honest, so far with these shots. Only 6 kills. They kind of danced around the units instead of on top of them. Sneaky Snakes have now been revealed, and Karl Franz, lovely play here by Erwin, recognising the threat before pulling it back. And now there's the perfect target of Archon the Black, who's going to ride straight into and somehow sneaks underneath the wing here of Deathclaw and back to friendly foes. And yeah, very wisely, Karl Franz going to fall back. Does not want to be taking those long-range shots from the eyes of the desert. Gotrek is he's running for this Tomb Prince. He's going for him. Axe is risen. The Tomb Prince certainly does not want to be sticking around here and fighting. He's going to get pinged in by the Empire Knights as well. Really good play here and nice connection so far by Erwin, hunting down this Tomb Prince. Swordsman now taking a bit of a beating, but you Shopsy have been caught out of position by Karl Franz over on this flank, and so far it's looking pretty good for the forces of the Empire. Double Spearmen have managed to wrap around as well, and the mortar is going to be consistently unharassed as the Royal Aldorf Gridfights also start to push up. This is starting to look like a bit of a struggle. Tomb Prince, though, has managed to do decent work taking down some Empire Knights and has managed to survive and get away from Gotrek, which is pretty nice play. Sneaky Snakes as well have started to float over towards Karl Franz, who's currently eating a Spirit Leech. Shorty Bows need to fall back as much as possible. I suppose it did entice in Karl Franz and these knights at least into the killing pit. More knights as well lurking around the back lines here. Cosmo Skulls up to 49 kills, finally making a little bit of connection, but it's been a little bit underwhelming so far from its usual powerful status. Fortunately, Mortar doing a bit of friendly fire here, taking down some Empire Knights, which is a little bit funny. A lovely rear charge coming in by these guys on top of these Shopsy Great Bows. They do not want to be sticking around. Eyes of the Desert will make short work of these guys. More shots coming over as well, peppering it down at those swordsmen in the back line who are taking a huge beating. But the forces of the Empire, led by Gotrek, are hammering this left-hand flank and so pushing back. The Empire Knights, though, Doom and Darkness was popped on them to help break them off the field, which was really nice and help protect this Tomb Prince. Karl Franz, though, really healthy, nuking down some of the Eyes of the Desert, and this is the only problem with them. You can bring one unit, and if it's protected effectively, it can cause carnage, but it's a little bit squishy, unfortunately. And nice play so far, though. Empire Knights are popped on top of Tomb Guard, really not where they want to be. Reichel Runefang has been popped, though, giving them lovely melee attack in this big blob. Karl Franz, he is on the hunt for that bony bum of Archon the Black. Nope, it's going to be moving over here, perhaps trying to shut down the Casket of Souls. Now, he is going to be saturated in, of course, on top of Skeleton Spearmen, who can do some okay work with their bonus versus large, but they're still just, you know, lower tier Spearmen up against their Emperor of Mankind. So, not going to go too well for these Spearmen, unfortunately, as they do already start to break, and a lovely lance and charge as well from Empire Knights, plus some mortar strikes coming into play as well. Gotrek not doing too bad here, just cutting down some of these nasty skeleton boys, and yeah, doing good kills. Not too much that's going to be able to take him down as well. Up to 49 kills, he is hopped on top of the Eyes of the Desert, which is the perfect target for him to be on. He's currently roaming amongst these guys now. He's doing his little best to kind of waddle after them and hunt them down. Of course, he is lacking speed. Balance power is slightly going in the Empire favour, but it is a real grind fest here. Skeleton Warriors trying their best here up against the Spearmen, and a lot of the cav has been forced off for the Empire forces. A lovely Shopsy Summit has popped in as well, trying to pin in and surround Karl Franz, and this could be a real great way back into the game for the Tomb Kings. I mean, Archon's still very healthy, as well as the Tomb Prince, so it's by no means over at all. And if they can pin in Karl Franz here, I think they'd be in a pretty dominant position. Casket of Souls is starting to deteriorate here, but it's used up a decent amount of its ammunition, up to 73 kills. These Empire Knights considered coming back to help Karl Franz fight. You know what? He's the Emperor and all that. I'm sure he can look after himself a little bit. Lovely Spirit Leech going down on Karl Franz, taking an absolute beating, but lovely play by Tank. Realising he's not going to catch him, wastes no time before pushing into the main battle line straight away here, running over some of these Empire Knights. Gotrek's going to be a big pain, but at the same time you can leave him to the end and hunt him down. Oh no, Tank! tank needs to get these Nekaka horsemen moving. They can hop on top of that mortar and completely shut it down, as long as these Royal Outdoor Graphite aren't microed effectively. So a little bit of miss micro by both players there, but looks like Spearmen have pushed through this left flank complete now. Karl Franz taking down the isolated Casket of Souls, and Empire Knights are rallying to the cause. There's some lovely shots coming in here by the Eyes of the Desert, doing some huge burst damage, and Karl Franz needs to get up and escape. Another Spirit Leech, and he may be getting ready to break, but he's risking it all. Coming down to fight Arkan here. Now, I think that was a bad play, because he's taken a Spirit Leech to the face, and with 1 or 2 more shots from the Eyes of the Desert, he will indeed go down. And I think the Empire were doing relatively okay up to that. They still had a ton of Spearmen to saturate on top and start pulling down these Bone Boys. They had the mortar active as well, so I don't know. I feel like the Empire were doing it pretty good until he decided to chuck back Karl Franz. Again, there was a very healthy Ark in the Black and Tomb Prince, so maybe it was slightly going out of favour of the Empire by that point, but I think that was a big misplay bringing Karl back in there. Royal Outdoor Graphites are going to be hunting down these Nekaka horsemen here, which is a good play. They'll be able to tell them apart very quickly, but at least it's distracting them from the main fight, which is going on over here. Jade Wizard is being pulled apart as well and starting to waver, and all the Empire forces, whenever they are touched, are starting to kind of waver and break. Gotrek has hopped into the Eyes of the Desert. It looks like half of the unit is going to be sneaking away. The other half were a little bit delayed there. But, yeah, basically escape Gotrek where possible, surround him with Tomb Guard and so forth, and just slowly drag down his health where possible. Balance power for the first time is in the favour of the Tomb Kings here. We do still have 11 Royal Outdoor Graphites here. Can come back and do some decent work, but unfortunately for them, that Jade Wizard, who could have healed them up so much, is being kindly escorted off the field here by the Tomb Prince. Ark in the Black as well is just so healthy, really roaming through the Spearmen, doing some pretty decent work. Gotrek trying his best here, but Tomb Guard of Halberds are now going to be coming in, stabbing him in the back, and he is down as well quite a bit. Oh no, he's still very healthy. He's looking at the wrong health bar there. A nice summon of Skeleton Warriors as well, just to pin in these Spearmen, so they have nowhere to go, and they're going to get cut to absolute ribbons now. Some more Spearmen are starting to rally, and the Jade Wizard as well has managed to rally, but no, this is such a disaster here. So when the Tomb Prince gets very low, if he has this ability active, the Curse of Jafe, he does give it minus 24 melee attack and rampage, so this poor Jade Wizard, who could be healing up these Royal Outdoor Graphites, is instead going to be rampaging towards the nearest enemy, which is really not what you want. He does break though, and it looks like they managed to kill the Tomb Prince very, very quickly there with the Royal Outdoor Graphites. Mortar is still active as well, but he is starting to run low on ammunition. 110 kills though, really good value so far. Ark going to be used now just to chase down this Jade Wizard, which is a good play. At the same time, if these Royal Outdoor Graphites, there's still 9 of them, do indeed rally, they might be able to turn around and attempt to snipe out Ark, and it is possible, but I think they have to get very lucky with their RNG to do it so quickly. Sneaky Snakes as well being moved kind of around the battlefield as well, pretty quite effectively, away from Gotrek where possible, and is hunting down Spearmen and kind of other cheap and cheerful units, as Gotrek is doing his best here, up to 93 kills, but I don't think he's going to be anywhere near enough to carry, unfortunately. Here we come in the ultimate slow chase. Looks like Ark in the Black slowly pulling down that Jade Wizard, but the Royal Outdoor Graphites have rallied here. Is there potential for a comeback? Gotrek can clean up a lot of the chaff, I suppose, and the Royal Outdoor Graphites, they unfortunately do break at the sight of Ark in there. I was hoping they gain combat with him. Jade Wizard could perhaps survive into a regrowth or something, and you never know. Mortar's still doing some okay work as well. Snakes could probably hop back there and just finish him off, and there's 1 or 2 units of Spearmen left alive. Gotrek running for the hills here, trying to chase down the Sneaky Snakes where possible. We do not have any ammunition left, so they need to keep moving as well. Just force yourself back, hunt down the mortar, pull apart the rest of the Empire forces. Unfortunately, those Demiglyphs did completely shatter. Jade Wizard as well is taking a while to die, but that can happen with Footlords. They get pushed over and just kind of shunted to the side like this. But eventually he will reach the edge of the board and be pushed off. Skeleton and Spearmen are pushing up into the back lines now. Sneaky Snakes are struggling to get away from Gotrek for some reason. But they should be able to use their superior speed now, and a nice death blob as well, hunting down these Spearmen. It's simply going to be a matter of clearing up these troops where possible. Tomb King Shrooms, indeed, man, that's a good way of pointing it out. So they must be OP, right? It's the only way it works. So Eyes of the Desert going to be popping up here. Mortar crews are running for the hills. Going to try and escape. Oh, no, not a bad idea here. Try to pin in the snakes with the crew. That'll allow Gotrek some time to get back here and help assist. But take note of this. He's going to be pulling through these guys, just doing damage where I can, allowing the Spearmen to saturate on top. Ark the Black still struggling really badly to defeat this Jade Wizard, but Staff Nagash has been popped as well, and he's certainly going to have some abilities to help finish off Gotrek. He can just simply Spirit Leech him to death, Cycle Charge, while the rest of his army does the good stuff. He's going to be falling back here. He's getting a little bit worried, so the Jade Wizard may well survive this. The main Tomb King forces are coming back, and is Gotrek going to have enough here, guys? He's trying to catch these snakes where possible. And 95 kills isn't too bad. Snake's going to be bouncing around from combat to combat. And the Spearmen are rallying to the Dwarf. I mean, the Skeleton Spearmen are starting to break. Arkenback is needed over here. At the same time, if this Jade Wizard comes back, and even if he just gets one regrowth off on Gotrek, that could be huge. He's running for the hills here, though he is very close to the edge of the map. And the Spearmen are all starting to waver here for the forces of the Undead. In comes Ark the Black, though, and he may be a turning point. Mortar Crew are unfortunately being pulled apart here. Arkin going to be hopping on top of the Spearman. Gotrek is a beelining straight away. Oh no, he's not. He's going into club some Skeleton Spearmen. And try to break those guys where possible. But cycle charging is going to be pretty important here. The Jade Wizard has rallied. Can Erwin Smith do this? This will be an insane comeback if he manages to pull this back. Balance power is heavily against him, which is a big problem, as it is going to force the low leadership Empire troops to kind of constantly rout and break instead of fight. And if they sit and fought here, they may have a pretty decent chance. We still have Tomb Guard here, 31 models here, and a load of Spearmen as well. Arkan being so healthy is a problem, but Gotrek has it in him to take these guys down. Okay, once again, Arkan is probably going to float out and defeat this Jade Wizard if he gets a little bit too close, just to try and ensure that he can't do any hills. Gotrek desperately going to be running over here in an attempt to save the Jade Wizard, as the Spearmen as well are doing their long haul back. Mortar Crew is alive. It's probably worth not even charging them in now, just to help with the balance power as much as possible. But yeah, unfortunately, as soon as that Jade Wizard gets a little sight of Arkan there, he does decide to flee immediately. And yeah, looks like all the Skeleton Spearmen and so forth going to hop on Gotrek. Snake is just going to clear up the outlying troops there. Arkan just roaming around. Probably waiting for some Winds of Magic to come back to do more and more Spirit Leeches on top of Gotrek. Summons as well could be pretty effective here. Looks like the Mortar Crew has unfortunately been routed for the force of the Empire, and Snakes can do some decent work. So it looks like the Legion Mortis has been popped, given plus 44% physical resistance and 8 leadership to all these nearby troops. Is really going to neuter the effectiveness of Gotrek, who has not brought his axe or anything, unfortunately. But as you can see, nice little close-up here. He's doing decent work, and of course he does have that chance of regaining head points. So there's a 50% chance it can work, and if this goes off, it is going to be very, very powerful here. I thought Jade Wizard may have come back though. Just go check healing. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, Arkan, once again, Roman, and we do have some summoned Skeleton Warriors as well, going to be used to bog him down. Spearmen have completely been shattered, so it is simply Gotrek versus 326 enemies, but I'm sure he's up for the case here. He's a proud Dowie, never know. This battle is a nice showcase that Unbreakable is not the same as Crumbling. It's not the same, but Crumbling is still an incredibly powerful mechanic compared to Leadership. But it is definitely not the same, you are right. Unbreakable is far better, of course. But it comes on a lot less units. Staff and Nagash once again going down. Just improving his power recharge rate as well. Just going to be roaming up and down here, trying to get more Winds of Magic. As you can see, he's sending in one unit after another as well, just trying to tower out the exhausted Gotrek here and allow his other units to, you know, try and recover a little bit as well. So he is down now just to 1,700 health. I think the Tomb Kings have this. I mean, Chaff is going to slowly disappear, but he may have one or two more summons left in the bag. Gotrek, realising that it's pointless fighting these Skeleton Warriors, is in fact going to hop over here into the Skeleton Spearmen, who are a little bit of weaker state and of course are not summons, so they will again, you know, they're not kind of such wasted value here from Gotrek. Snake's going to consider charging in once again. Gotrek going to be constantly trying to hunt down Arkan, but it's going to be tough. Arkan considered charging in here, but is going to be falling back once more. Skeleton Spearmen slowly hunting him down. 1,400 health. Isn't too bad. I mean, Skeleton Warriors are drained kind of all over the place, but he still has a Tomb Guard as well. And yes, Gotrek can take down Eyes of Desert with his bonus versus large effectively, but they can still pack a punch back as well. And in they come, swooping down, but a lovely swipe and attack there by Gotrek. Sends some of those skeletons flying, and hits the Eyes of Desert as well. Arkan though, some lovely cycle charging, down to 1,290 health here from Gotrek, and he's just been a little bit clobbered to death, unfortunately. Looks like they're all good. I don't think it's going to be enough, guys. 1,000 health. He's done a huge job here. This is an incredibly tight game. 197 kills on Gotrek, but the Cycle Charger from the Eyes of the Desert and Arkham Black probably is going to call it. If that Wizard had got back and just cast one last regrowth, perhaps Gotrek would have done it, but without that extra healing, you can see he's still got quite a way off his healing cap. I think it's going to be game. This is so stupid, it is. Gotrek does magic damage, he don't care about none. Oh, that's true. About like the resistance and stuff. But still, the extra leadership does certainly help as well. But Gotrek, how you doing, bud? 635 health, he just stands no chance at this point. I think Arkan could even solo him realistically. It looks like he's going to be trying to walk around to attack Arkan. And yes, he does pack a punch, but Arkan's not the worst combatant overall either. He's simply going to fall back, attack with all his other units, and then cycle charge back once again. Down to 500 health. Not much to commentate on now, guys, so apologies, but like, it is what it is. It's going to be coming in here, trying to break down Gotrek. Arkan can probably just stay and fight at this point. I don't think there's any way Gotrek would be able to trade that much hit point wise. He has 2,600 here. And there he goes, a nice stab in the back left from Arkan. Optimus Pine, what's up, my dude? Great to see you again. Last time I checked, that Gotrek got wrecked was correct. Like a little insect to Hilara's effect. The future is perfect. So, cool builds coming in by both players here. Tank taking a more defensive approach, and he did get caught out of position a little bit, I think, with the shop tee. And Owen Smith definitely went into the driving seat to start with, but great fight back from Tank overall. Managed to endure. Caster Souls did eventually start racking up that value after kind of, whiffing a few of his earlier shots. And the combination of Arkham the Black and Tomb Prince play helped drag down all the knights, and then it was a simple, grind fest basically, and it's really tough to beat the Tomb Kings in a grind fest. Gotrek tried his best, 217 kills, very impressive stuff overall. GG, well played. So we are now going to be moving on to Outdoor Outskirts. And let's update the scoreboard. So Tank is 1 up here in this best of 5 series. So let's see who can go next. Cool, cool. Icepan Man, if you're still in chat, man, I've seen your message and I'm 100% down for that, dude. Where's the healing proc? I think it already went off. Because there was like a little healing symbol over him at some point and I could see his healing cap come up. But it's only a 50% chance of working, I believe. I don't think it's every single time, Nuke Life. Cool, Tank is picking High Elves, banning Greenskins and Bretonians. I'm not sure who Erwin mains. If anyone in chat does know, please do let me know. But good stuff all round. Interesting to see who he does pick here. So against High Elves, I actually really like Norska. I think you can do some great work. Pendulums are very effective against the tightly packed formations, as well as the boat from Wulfric the Wanderer. High Elves can struggle up against large entities as well. As long as you keep them moving, Spearmen aren't too much of a threat. But if you do get dragged into that big blob fight, it can be rough. Sister Avalon as well, obviously a problem, and the kind of the artillery and range prowess the High Elves do have. But oh, it looks like Erwin is going Beastmen. This could be a really good treat for us. So it's most likely going to be summon spam, simply because that is the best way of playing Beastmen, unfortunately, but hopefully we'll see something kind of cool and new. And they're very good at rushing, so they can do some decent work up against the High Elves. My one worry for them here is, what do they have to counter Silveren Guard? They're going to be able to beat back majority of Beastmen infantry apart from Bestigors, and be fantastic against all of the large entities that Beastmen basically have to bring. So I feel like we're going to see a ton of Silveren Guard here from Tank. Who are very powerful overall. Again, pendulums and stuff can bring them down even with their magic resistance, because it gives such good value against their formation, but we'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. V-Claw, do you have any tournaments coming up soon? I'll be interested to know. I actually have this Saturday off work, so I might be able to play in weekend tournaments once, which should be some pretty good fun. I'll check Discord, make sure we've got no questions. Looks like we are good. And if you guys want to play in tournaments like this in the future, or get involved in King of the Hills and all that type of good stuff, feel free to join my Discord, by the way. There's a link just down below. We've got like over 150 people in there, I think, now. So a load of people to chat to, new players, experienced players as well. If you're, new to the game, wanting to get involved, or a bit of a pro, bit of God of War, just want to find some good and healthy competition. Best thing Beastmen can do is run around them. True, that can work for a while. Depends how much of a death blob I suppose tank goes for, but then something like Flock of Doom can punish it quite heavily. Cygor summons as well, if they're big boulders, can be pretty nasty. I'm sad none of those dudes play lizards. I was actually thinking of this, New Life the other day. I was like, oh, New Life's in the finals, that's perfect. I'll get to see some Lizardmen action. Because you brought some crazy builds, man, in the latest King of the Hill. Some really exciting stuff using like horned ones and stuff, which you don't get to see too often. But we also have Soothsayer in the finals, who is a bit of a Lizardman bouse himself. So we'll see. There's plenty of Dino Boys in the next one, so don't worry too much about it. Tank still has counts in his back pocket as well. So if he wins this one, I can certainly see him going that way. But it will be Irwin's turn, so he may be able to ban them, I suppose. Heresy. I agree, man. I 100% agree. Heresy of the highest order. Da, da, I can hear the glorious music. The Warhammer music's so good. I wish they put some of the trailer music in, unfortunately, though. Like, some of the trailer music is pretty damn elite. But doesn't, unfortunately, make it in. Also, guys, so Total War Troy is coming out in the future, and I was wondering if you guys would be interested in seeing. I should get some early access footage, which is kind of cool. For those who kind of missed it, I said it in a different stream. I'm very lucky to have made a verified content creator now, which is really cool, which means not too much, but like a few little things, but it means I do get a little bit of early access, nowhere near as much as any of the big channels, of course, but I get like a week in advance. I was wondering if you guys would be interested in seeing some Troy Total War action. I know it's been a bit of a controversial release so far, with it being exclusive for a year on Epic Games Store instead of on Steam and all that kind of stuff. But I thought it might be kind of fun to cover, so let me know if you would want to see that stuff, or if you just want me to focus mainly on Total War Warhammer. Hope there's going to be a Rohirrim army. Oh, Raptor, a man after my own heart here. I got Lizardmen as just another type of green skin. Viclaw, you're a cool dude, man, but you're pushing the line there a little bit. I thought you were an alright dude, but you crossed the line here. You crossed the line. I'm with chat on this one. Viclaw the heretic. And Noob will hunt you down, Viclaw. I love the fact Noob for Life is still called Noob for Life, despite the fact he's a pretty big bouse at the game now. Yeah, a Rohirrim army would be fun. I don't know if it's... Actually, to be honest, Rohirrim works really well up against Beastmen. It can be done. You can just flatten a lot of them, and you bring something like a big Star Dragon as well to destroy their infantry. Frob's a knife lover. Damn right. I love all the factions equally, as long as we're only talking about Lizardmen. Actually, no, I don't like Tic-Tac-Toe. Tic-Tac-Toe can go back to the free LC which once brought him. He's a cool guy, but he's just terrible. So, for the forces of Erwin Smith trying to get back into this best of 5 series here, we have a large Vanguard force, which is always good to see. And it looks like we are probably going to have a summon build. Oh, no, we're not. Really awesome stuff. Cool. Let's break this down. So, Ungor Spearherds and Goreherds in the front line in a mass Vanguard. This is going to be some crazy cool stuff. Looks like we have the Blackhorn Ravagers in here as well, who have perfect vigor, and they look so badass every time. They're kind of glowing runic axes. It's just, they're one of my favourite units. They're very cool on the Beastmen roster. We have a load of Ungor Raiders as well for that constant pressure. We have Centaurs as well. So 1, 2, 3 Centaurs, who of course can Vanguard as well, so I certainly expect them to push forward where possible. We have a Brave Shaman of Death coming with a Spirit Leech, and I believe that is Doom and Darkness. Let's double check. Oh no, it's Soul Blade. Minus 30 armor, yeah, minus 30% base weapon damage, so pretty good overall. We have Minotaurs with Great Weapons, times 2. Gorball, Literally just one Gorbel, and Morgo, the Shadowgate, of course, can do his summons. He's realistically the only competitive pick. I actually had some fun on the ladder the other day of Kazarak, and he managed to kill like 2 heroes and a Lord by cycle charging. But yeah, Morgo is certainly the best pick. You can do some okay work with Malagor, but realistically, he's not the best. Good luck, have fun. Awesome. So we're going to have a big rush build here, so a bit of a Death Star coming in with the Centaurs and Minotaurs. Then a huge overload on the flank. Now for the forces, the High Elves, we have a Star Dragon up in the skies with Alariel the Radiant, going to be coming in with Earthblood, Fire's Protection, and of course her Star. We have a Noble on Chariot, Rahaga's Pride, Silver Helms, and then Shadow Warriors. Okay, interesting pick. They can fight pretty decent in melee up against some of the lower tier Beastmen troops. So double Shadow Warriors, we have Silver Helms, and a ton of Silver Guard. Pretty fun build. Pretty fun build indeed. Rahaga's Pride, a really nice pick, actually. They should be able to tear apart a lot of the infantry. Going to struggle when it comes to the Minotaur mashup, I feel. Minotaurs with great weapons do have that bonus versus large. If they hop in here, they can certainly take these guys apart. Noble on Chariot, perfect pick as well, and he's beelining straight for this big old blob, which is the right thing to do. He doesn't have his armor, which makes him invisible, unfortunately, but... So it looks like some of the Blackhorn Ravagers and so forth have overextended slightly, so perhaps the dragon would want to move down here. There's a Gorbel hiding behind a tree, who may be a bit of a threat. So out come the Silver Helms here, going to be pushing forward as much as possible. And yeah, this Noble is just going to have free reign. Centaurs are trying to catch him, but up to 7 kills. And that's going to push the Silver Helms back as well. Shadow Warriors, I'm a little bit wide for them if he's going to be able to get good value from them and protect them long enough. These are poor Ungol Spearheads on the flank are about to get decimated by a Star Dragon and Silver Helms, which is to be expected. Silver Guard are now being pushed up. Rahaga's Pride trying to counter the Centaurs here and hunt those guys down. You can see them with their big old paws and fangs cleaving these Centaurs apart. They're going to do some pretty decent job here, especially for Noble support, but the Minotaurs with great weapons are on the warpath, and these guys are charging headlong in, pinning in that Noble. If he can pull them apart, this would be some fantastic value. Silver Helms have been committed to this fight as well, but it's looking pretty disastrous on the left-hand flank for the forces of the High Elves. Shadow Warriors are still online, although Minotaurs are pushing into the back lines. Lara Rodent just floating up high in the skies. Silver Helms being countered nicely by Centaurs so far. Star Dragon, though, could do a really lovely breath attack down here, which would be getting him some fantastic value. Once again, Minotaurs trying to hunt down Silver Helms where possible. Rahaga's Pride have been forced off as well. Both the Shadow Warriors are still online, but they've got a lot to shoot at and not much to protect them from all kind of these fast-moving threats. Big breath attack does come in, but unfortunately it wasn't the best angle. He needs to kind of be along the side to really kind of shred them, but still got some okay work, up to 29 kills already. And Morga is taking a few arrows to the face now. A couple of units of Silver Guard are standing strong, and you can see how much they've bogged in these troops. If he had some form of air effect damage on Alariel, that would be huge, like a breath attack down here even. I mean, I would land in the back lines with the dragon. Probably going to be the best bet. Minotaurs taking a bit of damage here, but there's double great weapon Minotaurs. It's going to be very scary stuff overall. Lara the Radiant just poking around now, going to be hopping on top of the Ungol Raiders who are starting to flee for the hills. It looks like the flanks have been mainly lost. Silver Helms being absolutely crumped by a combination of Centaurs and the Blackhorn Ravagers here. And the back line as well is a bit of a disaster for the High Elves. Centaurs have started to shut down the Shadow Warriors, but these guys are pretty good melee combatants themselves, coming in with 38 melee attack and 34 melee defense. It's certainly no pushover. They have managed to break back one of the Centaurs, but in comes another 2 units. Kill 1, 2 more come back. A lovely Star of Avalon coming down, keeping the Star Dragon in the fight, as well as the Noble, both very healthy here. Silver Guard, unfortunately, aren't getting any of that juicy healing. There should be enough here to drag down these Minotaurs. It looks like one unit is broken. Chaos Spawn there has been summoned here as well, which is going to inflate the balance of power even more in favour of the Beastmen. Shadow Warriors are currently running for the hills, but yeah, these guys haven't really managed to get the best value. They're doing their 360 no-scopes though, and they are pulling down Centaurs to a point. He wants to take one of these units and wrap it round and hop on top of this other one, so he doesn't take this constant crossfire. You can see that is what he's doing right now. In this main engagement, a lovely Soul Blight coming down, catching 90% of the Hell forces here. That Star Dragon actually started to waver for a little bit there. Noble cannot force its way out, but there's just too much pinning it in. Lara trying her best to hunt down these Ungol Raiders, but it's not going to be enough. Star Dragon as well getting very beaten up. Morga the Shadowgate going toe-to-toe with the Star Dragon. An absolute champ of the Beastmen people. Shadow Warriors doing a pretty good job, honestly, Kaisen back here and forcing back these Centaurs with really nice crossfire overall, but those guys are really going to be needed in this main fight. Star Dragon needs to escape with Alariel here, heal up, and wait for these Chaos Spawn to disappear. Looks like both are currently summoned. If he can outlast them, and hopefully stack on top of the Silver Guard to help pull down Minotaurs. I reckon he still has a chance. Noble as well is doing great work on Ungor Raiders. Star Dragon really struggling to get up into the skies here. He should be able to escape these guys, but the Gorbel is hunting, but up he goes into the air. He's probably got a few breath attacks in the tank as well. Silver Helms have raid. They need to be pulled over to help protect these Shadow Warriors. But to be honest, I've been made to eat my own words here. These guys have pulled down the Centaurs pretty damn effectively with some really nice skirmish play, although more are popping back here. But there is a lot of Beastmen left on the field, guys. And the Silver Guard are holding the line relatively strong. A lovely breath attack coming down the line here. Look at the dead bodies, the carnage, as the Black Horn Rounders get an absolute beating here. And the Star Dragon is going to be able to cut up the chaff with pretty much ease. The Minotaurs are currently distracted over on the left-hand side. Chaos Spawn as well are nearly gone, so the Dragon's relatively safe to land here. British Charm of Death, though, can still drop Spirit Leeches and so forth to try and help whittle this guy's health down. In the back lines, the Shadow Warriors are finishing off these Centaurs. There's still one left lurking here in the distance, but it looks like it's actually been spotted. Very nice play by Tank, who's going to be launching some shots into them as well, trying to break their leadership and force them off the field. Now, the Shadow Warriors do not have too much ammunition left, and they really want to put every shot they have into these Minotaurs, try and finish them off, and then you can try and goon out or leave Gorbel and Morgul to the end. So Alarielle getting a little bit risky here on her little pigeon. It's going to be running away here, trying to get back up into the skies, which is fine. I believe she still has one Star of Avalon left as well, and we are going to be getting a big old fat Earthblood here as well. Going to be healing up these Silver Guard, helping them tank as much as possible, although one of the units has broken here. It looks like they are going to abandon that in hope to hunt down the Ungor Raiders, which isn't the worst play. Huge breath attack coming in once again, getting some nice value. Damaged Gorbel, but it didn't do that much. But, you know, it's always good to see them in action. 131 kills so far, and in he comes. Star of Avalon is popped. Star Dragon popping down, trying to assassinate the Gorbel, which is a good bet. Get him off the field as much as possible. Minotaurs are rushing back to the field, now having forced off the Rahaga's Pride. And Alarielle is going to be used to hunt down this back line. Bounce power still just about in favour of the Beastmen. Shadow Warriors are out of ammunition, which is going to cost them, as now the Centaurs can roam in here and do some really nice cycle charge, and have the Silver Helms are on the comeback. Star Dragon very near its healing cap here, and he has not been able to break down the Gorbel, and in come his Minotaur Bros, and they're going to make mincemeat of this Star Dragon, which is now triple bronze chevron. The Dragon simply going to use its mass to get back up into the air now, but it's been pretty risky. Silver Guard as well, now used to force back the Minotaurs, which isn't a bad play. Honestly, the Dragon needs to keep cycle charging and help these beleaguered spearmen out. Silver Helm's going to attempt to hunt down the Gorbel, but they are getting caught here by the Minotaurs. And looks like Star Dragon did land in the back lines to help protect the Shadow Warriors. This is a close game. I don't really know which way to call it. Alarielle needs to be used to hunt down the Gorbel. You do not want this guy coming back. I mean, I suppose 817 health. You might be able to shock damage him if he does come back into the main engagement. Silver Guard holding for an eternity here, up to 94 kills. Doing really good work, slowly dragging down these Minotaurs. And in comes the Dragon as well. A Spirit Leech has been popped on him. Here's a tiny amount of healing he could do left. As an Earthblood does go down, but the Silver Guard break, which is pretty disastrous. Shadow Warriors wavering as well. But the mighty Star Dragon with its fire damage is going to gobble up Morga the Shadow Gate here if there is not Minotaurs protection lane. Just on cue, they do manage to float back here. This is a very close game. Gorbel is rallying as well, and the Star Dragon is wavering. This is so goddamn close. Minotaurs are wavering as well on this flank. More are appearing, but Silver Guard have rallied as well. A few more straight arch shots going to the Star Dragon, who just flops up into the air and straight back down, trying to shock these Minotaurs out of existence, doing some great work. But the Star Dragon down to 550 health here. I think the Beastmen may just about be able to club this down. Alarielle is not a good duelist in her own right and will not be able to win this by her own. And the Star Dragon is starting to rout. He needs a heal on this guy as quickly as possible, even if it's not the best value because his healing cap is so close. But he needs him in this fight. Alarielle pops down on top of the Gorbel, trying to go toe-to-toe with the big guy, which is not a bad idea considering he currently is isolated. But 548 hit points there. He is clobbering Alarielle pretty good. And in comes some Gorehurts, or Ungor Raiders as well. Lanced down by Silver Helms, trying to get on top of this Gorbel, but I think that's going to be game. Losing the Star Dragon there is going to seal the deal. Minotaurs have been forced off, but the Bray Shaman of Death is no pushover in combat, and of course Morga is going to be regenerating this entire time. Star Dragon has rallied somehow with 93 health. Madness. Alarielle needs to escape and get an Earthblood down on him straight away and try and heal him up. I believe all the breath attacks have been used. Shadow Warriors as well need to chase down these Minotaurs. You cannot allow these troops to rally. Looks like in the distance, though, you do have some Ungor Raiders rallying as well, and that ammunition could be pretty key here. So Silverguard are pushing forward, but the Brave Shaman going to be taking the brunt of the damage. And Gorble is breaking nearly. Alario does pop in and manage to break him here, so perhaps it is not game over. All the Minotaurs have left the field, but the Star Dragon is just too beat up. He simply cannot come back into the action. But it's going to be really tough to bring down this double caster build here. Effective cycle charging may be able to do it if he has enough units standing and fighting. The Dragon once again has rallied here, completely exhausted, 93 health. 5 leadership, he needs health just to stop him breaking, so he can come back. But the Beastmen are wavering all over the field here, and I suppose Alario does in fact cause fear on top of her mighty pigeon here, so maybe she has enough in her. Silverguard desperately trying to take down these casters where possible. Shadow Warriors have popped in as well. The Uncle Raiders are starting to waver just by the mere presence here. Star Dragon desperately trying to get back to the fray. He has upped himself to 12 leadership. If there's just one Earthblood, anything to keep him in the action, it could be so key. Lovely cycle charge coming in by Alario the Radiant, hopping on top of that Brave Shaman Death before sneaking away and using her loyal meat shield to protect her, basically. This is so goddamn close. Oh no, Gorble is going to run off the field. Those Minotaurs are going. It's pushing the balance of power more. Actually, the balance of power is still very in the favour of the Beastmen, despite their units breaking and routing here. Brave Shaman Death has gone, and the Star Dragon is going to get one last attack before he breaks. A huge clobber onto Morgan, the Shadow Gate here. 90 health. Archer Fire is coming in though. Ooh, this is so close. A huge snap onto Morga, down to just 700 hit points. But the Star Dragon goes, and if that pushes army losses, I'd be so upset if I was High Elves, as they're definitely in the winning position. They've broken Morga the Shadow Gave, simply forced back these archers where possible. Oh, the balance power is hugely in High favour now, sorry. What a crazy game. That was insane, but the Beastmen forces are going to break here. That Star Dragon returning and just munching down Morga very quickly was huge. Brave Shaman has managed to rally here though, and if he has 1 or 2 Spirit Leeches left in him, maybe he can nuke Alario down to push that balance power back into the equal favour. Shadow Warriors fighting to the death here, 93 and 58 kills, doing really decent work overall onto Ungor Raiders. So Alario's too powerful. Unfortunately, Morga did completely shatter here, which is obviously a big loss because he could have regenerated and come back. But that Dragon returning on like 90 health won the High Elves that game there, because without the Dragon taking down Morga, I don't think Alario could have done it by her own. And I mean, the Shadow Warriors and Silver Guard, there's simply not enough of them, and he would poison her and slowly bring her down. So crazy stuff indeed. Alario going to be hopping back up into the sky just to cycle charge down once more. Shadow Warriors are being forced off here. There's literally like no troops left on the battlefield for either player. She needs to get a pigeon bum down here though and hunt that Brave Shaman where possible. Shadow Warriors are being forced off. Looks like both are running for the trees here, but they should come back. Silver Guard, the loyal bulwark of the Hell Forces here, up to 105 kills, and there is an Earthblood left as well, and that is going to be game. That was insane. That was insane. That was insane. This is so heartbreaking for the Beastmen. Oh, that was ridiculous. That Dragon MVP. I mean, 138 kills is very impressive, but coming back and just munching down Morga. If he had not come back, if 1 or 2 of those arrows would have connected in the first volley instead of the second, this would have been over, and Erwin Smith would have been dragging this back to a 1-all series. But it is going to be 2-0 to Tank so far. It's a best of 5, so don't worry, we still have more games to come. Really good play though overall by both players. Those Shadow Warriors really outdid themselves. I thought they were going to get crumped very early on, and once again, Erwin Smith coming out of the gates swinging. I thought he took the driver's seat quite quickly, beat down the Hager's Pride, and hunted down the Shadow Warriors, but they managed to survive. Nice crossfire play, and well played to Tank for dragging himself back in. GG, that was insane. Next map is going to be Kelp and Coal Dust. So hopefully Owen Smith is still in good spirits. It's kind of tough when you take back-to-back losses like that, but he certainly has the potential to get back into this. Owen Smith is going for the Forces of Britannia. GG indeed. Yeah, that was insane. That was nuts. Doomba would be insane, Viclaw. But I think they are going to do it. They're going to bring in Doomba at some point, and Torux the Brass Bull is my predictions. But they need to sort out the physics of the character, because if they do it as the same model as the current Gorble, they're just going to get punted around. They're going to be a bit of a joke. Still very powerful, of course, when they hit, but getting flung around as they do is too much. So as long as they can figure that out, it'd be fine. how I got up to grab a snack and I assumed high elf had lost. It was pretty crazy. I look away for 1 second, all of a sudden high elf wins. So the dragon rallied with about 60 to 90 health, it was 90 something health, came back and like stomped Morga in about 3 hits, and that allowed the high elves to win basically. It was so goddamn close. So it looks like he's banning vampires and wood elves. Is Tank going to go for his favourite vampire cancer? It can be tough, it can be cycle charged into Oblivion, and Peasant Bowman can do some fantastic work as well. I'll have to wait and see. Did I update the scoreboard? No, I did not. Bam. 2-0 to Tank. So this could be the final game, or we could still have 3 games to go. It all depends on how this goes. Yeah, that's true. No HP, but a large amount of damage output. You still can go kind of traditional, you know, like spear and archer line, and it can work on this game, but yeah, single entities are powerful. It routed twice Poison Ducky, and it just came back. I mean, the Beastmen were incredibly beat up as well, in fairness. And the balance power wasn't completely gone by that point. Ilaria was still pretty damn healthy. So, Dragon Rallying, if it got a heal on it, I could see it coming back. But yeah, as soon as it got into combat, it was crazy. Tank going Chaos. This is going to be some good fun. I've actually been playing Chaos a little bit more recently. I do love a rush build for them, coming over, you know, loads of Marauders, Chaos Spawn and stuff. It can be some good fun, but we'll have to see how it goes. Erwin is ready. Looks like he had a build prepared here. That was nuts. Beastmen need a Bob type unit. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. If Silver Guard were a little weaker, they might have changed the game as well. Yeah, the Silver Guard are very, very powerful. I don't think they're like broken OP or anything. They're just very good. You can still beat them down quite effectively despite their magic resistance with like pendulums and stuff, because of how tightly packed they are, so like every model in the unit gets hit and so forth. And you can still cycle charge them to death and stuff, but they're pretty tough. They're, yeah, like Rap said, they're good for sure. Weapon strength debuff for single entities when their health drops. I mean, yeah, I suppose it depends. You could do like a slowly kind of like decrease. I think that comes with its own problems though. If you have a Star Dragon that is hitting like a Manticore, it's like, is anyone ever going to take it? Because it's just going to get Spirit Leech at the start of every single game. Everyone's just going to shoot the large entities and just do damage spells against them, so they become useless into the late game. I suppose that is, you know, making your opponent use up their resources, which is that Winds of Magic. But yeah, I see that as an idea. Sovereign Guard defeat Chaos Warriors, all variants. Good luck, have fun. Good. Let's get this cracking, guys. Make every single entity monster like the other where they just get stronger. Laughs in Dreadsorium. Well, it gets stronger, but it also gets more susceptible to damage, right? That actually could be a way of doing it, because, you know, like, what used to happen on tabletop, if like you had a Carnosaur, for example, and its rider was killed, it had a chance of just running away off the battlefield. It had a chance of being, you know, level-headed and cool and commanded, and like, you know, Slant took control of it, whatever, and it fought like normal. Or it had a chance to get like completely enraged, and it would actually gain loads of buffs. So perhaps you could make them more vicious and kind of up their strength, or make them more squishy. But I don't know. There's so much that could be done. Stronger Rotten Leviathan. I'm all about the Dreadsaurian Life Raptor. Here we go. So, for the forces of Erwin Smith here, scrapping for his life in this best of 5. 2-0 down now, but 2 incredibly close games. Certainly packing a punch here overall. He does have the Glorious Fey Enchantress coming with Regrowth and Earthblood, which is a pretty competitive pick, as well as Gotrek. Again, seems to be a big fan of this bad boy. Same loadout as before, just comes with that 50% chance to heal, and no weapons or anything. And the Green Knight, what a hero core here. Can work pretty well. For the front line, we have the glorious OP unit in the game, so enough about balance. This is the real problem in the game, is the Peasant Mob and how goddamn strong they are. These are Warriors of Bretonnia. We'll show the Knights how it's done. A huge bowline coming in with Peasant Bowmen with Pox arrows. It looks like skulls for the skulls for him. Cool. We'll go with the builds in just a second. Getting back. Oh, they both dropped. That may be a Steam issue then. Let's see. Okay, I can still steal the lobby, so it's not me. Take 2. Yo, so we were on Kelp and Coal Dust. Let's invite back Tank. And Owen Smith. Cool. I'm going to reply to someone quickly on Discord. Just want to pop a bomb there. Oh, they're still in the game, so it kicks me for some reason. May we just continue? I mean, I can't cast it then, which is a bit of a problem. 2 seconds. I'm assuming I can't pop back in it. No. So I'm still in it, but there's not much point us sitting here kind of doing nothing for the whole time, so. I mean... So Urban wants to play, which is understandable. So I might have to redo the builds. You can cast a replay on fast forward here. Tight formation. Indeed, V-Claw, indeed. I hate beaters. It messes up tournaments so bad. Owen wants to drop if he has to redo. No, it looks like tank's gone. Cool. I'm going to speak to Owen here. Looks like he might just want to drop out. Which is unfortunate. There's not much I can do about it, to be honest. Yeah, it looks like he's not too happy, but it is what it is. course, Torrance players now. Would suck to end out like this, so hopefully he'll come in, but I think he may, he's had enough. Which is understandable. It's frustrating, especially after like back-to-back losses like that as well. It can be a little rough, but we'll see. Commercial break, indeed, Angry Jenkins, indeed. But like, I don't really know what he is expecting here. There is not too much I can do if the whole thing just crashes. But yeah, he seems pretty unhappy. He would rather I just cast a replay, but we've already spent a lot of time already on his games kind of crashing out and him having problems and stuff, so... Cool. Looks like tank stopping as well. Do. Cool, guys, that kind of sucks. Like, a bad way to end it. It's been a stream that's kind of been plagued, unfortunately, with connection issues and so forth. It's no one's fault. These things like happen all the time, obviously, with like people connecting across, and especially with the beaters and so forth. But I think Tank's just going to have the win, unfortunately. He's in a pretty dominant position as well, going 2-0 up. So we're going to have to end it there. Tank going through to the finals, I think. Which, Owen Swift's not replying. I think he's a bit upset, which is understandable. I'm not blaming him, of course. It's a pretty crappy situation for him to be placed into. But there's not too much I can do about it, unfortunately. Sorry guys about this, just gonna send a few messages. Guys, well, sorry, that's kind of like a lame way to end the stream, I'm afraid, but it looks like Tank is going to be taking that home there with the 2-0 victory, as unfortunately Erwin doesn't want to play anymore with all the internet connection issues and so forth, and doesn't want to replay when Tank knows his build and stuff, which is fine. I understand it. It's beta problems, which kind of sucks, but I hope you guys did enjoy the stream overall. We still got through a ton of good games as well. Play quick battles? Man, I'm going to go eat, dude. It's like 10 o'clock here, man. But I'll make sure to do a stream soon. So cheers for tuning in anyway. If you did enjoy the stream, please, you know, give a good old thumbs up and subscribe and all that constant good stuff. And we will be back next time. So the grand finals will take place between Inticity, Noob for Life, Talaxland Soothsayer, and the Mighty Tank, which should be some pretty good fun. To quote a move, thanks Obama. Yeah, no, he doesn't want to play. Like, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine if I crash out this time, Aristodemus, but I'm not just going to sit here and watch a blank screen for 30 minutes while they play. So, I'm afraid we're just going to leave it there. Alright guys, until next time anyway, peace, peace, and as always, stay awesome.